Hey everyone, welcome back to Horsetooth Cinema. This is episode 3, I want to say, of Horsetooth Cinema Live. And today I'm joined by my good friend Josh over at Through the Lens. Hey Josh, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah, man, I've been looking forward to this for a while. I kind of wanted, I thought about, last week doing like you and Leon together, but I kind of wanted to just start off live streams, just sort of going, one-on-one like we were talking about. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'll probably do multiple guests here in the coming weeks or something. But yeah.
sweet.
So yeah, I'll just kick it off. I mean, what have you been watching lately?
So what in the last week or
Yeah, let's go for the last week. Yeah.
so? Just having a look. So I'm gonna go from the 27th, right?
Okay. Yeah. That's
Of
about when I'm
June.
gonna go from. Yeah.
So, Return to Seoul, which
Oh,
was
I really want to see that. It's yeah.
it's so great. David Cho, man, he killed it. The last scene just sticks in my mind. It stays there.
Yeah, and it's I just really like that idea for a story of like a woman who's like countryless in a way, like she doesn't really know, like she's from multiple places, but because of that she doesn't really know like what her
yeah,
identity is kind of. Yeah, that
because the
sounds
whole
great.
movie is her trying to find her parents, her real parents, and
Right. Oh, okay.
try and find who she really is at the
Oh, so
same time.
kind of like Lion. Have you seen that with Dev Patel?
I've I've seen stuff about it. I haven't
Oh,
seen the
okay.
movie itself,
Yeah,
but
yeah. No worries.
this one, it just it just hits you a lot. Like it goes from like 10 years to like 5 years to it's like an anthology kind of thing,
Okay.
and it's so good.
Awesome.
Then I watched The Boy, Past Lives.
I thought you were
Um,
gonna say something else when you were talking about the boy, but
um,
I no, I know how much you were looking forward to this.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it.
and it's the best movie of the year,
Awesome.
hands down, and it's one of my favorite movies ever now. So, just destroyed me, bro. Like this movie fucking destroyed me.
So how did you
Um,
watch? Is it on streaming somewhere now or?
Not yet, not
Okay,
yet.
because I'm waiting for it for my. I think my local independent theater is going to release it sometime this summer. So I'm just waiting for that basically because I'd actually really like to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's like it's kind of like our childhoods make us who we are in a way, and for Hae Sung and for Nora, their childhood is an extension of their whole life.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it seems like a romance that a lot of people can connect to. I mean, there's just definitely lots of like what if moments people
Oh,
can look back on in their lives.
sorry, my dad came in. He was like, "What's
I
that,
was
Nick?
thinking that was
What's
probably what
that?"
that was.
He was like, "What's that Nick Fury show?" And I said, "Secret Invasion," and he just walked off. So, but yeah, it is very much just. It's like, what would happen if, like, fate tests us, and what if you kind of get with that person who in another life you weren't meant to,
Yeah.
and for Hae Sung and for Nora, they believe in Inyan, which is kind of the idea of past lives, kind of like what if you had this in another life kind of thing.
Mhm.
And they're talking about like 8,000 layers of Inyan, like 8,000 layers of it. And there's a conversation at the end, and I just had a tear down my face. I was like, fucking hell, you
Yeah.
just destroyed me, you know?
No, that
Um,
sounds great. I'm really looking forward to checking that out. That sounds right up my alley.
though the dialogue in that film is unlike anything I've ever heard before. I'm just
Is
saying,
it in
like,
Korean or English or?
I'd say 60-40 Korean.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Um,
nice.
but it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Me Before You, which was very funny, unintentionally.
I think I know that
Clark,
one.
Amelia Clark, and fuck Sam Claflin. Sam.
Oh yes, I know the one. Yeah, the poster. The poster is one of those ones where it's like, yeah, that is a I am not going to be watching classic. But
Here's a problem. A lot of people have been memeing on this. I'm gonna say it. It might sound bad, but guy's in a wheelchair, right? He got in an
oh, I
accident.
didn't know that.
That's basically the plot. Is he got in an accident? Emilia Clarke plays his carer. They hit it off. But they go to this wedding, and do you know what they decide to play? They play the Ed Sheeran song when it says your legs don't work like they used to before. And it's like,
Oh no!
see, it's like,
That's so like on the nose and like kind of disrespectful, you know? Like, oh.
But do you know what's funny about it though? They dim
What?
it down so that you're not supposed to hear it, but all you can do is hear it.
Yeah, it's not great, especially if you, yeah, well, like it's like once you recognize the song, you just can't stop thinking about that. Like, oh, come on, guys. Yeah.
Emilia Clarke's eyebrows. She was doing all the carrying. Like her eyebrows were like moving around all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Leon's saying sounds unintentionally funny. It is.
Yeah.
It is very unintentionally funny. I was laughing all the way through. It's awkward. There's scenes where Emilia Clarke is hamming it up, but everyone else is just sat there like a sponge, just sat there like
yeah. Like I don't know. It seems like I don't know. Like the poster just strikes me as like a very generic rom-com, but it sounds like it's not that at all. Like it's very okay. That you almost sold me on it a little bit more because
it's very funny and it's not meant to be. That's the
all right.
sad thing. I don't know what's worse, that song or Imagine Dragons being a main part of the soundtrack. But
oh no!
I watched The Menu again.
Okay, what do you think of it a second time?
Oh, this is the third time.
Oh, third time. Okay. I don't. Yeah, because I actually don't know what you think about The Menu, but yeah.
I love this movie, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I love this movie so much. It's kind of making fun of certain types of people, kind of like Tarded, which I'll get to.
Yeah, or it fits very much into that like Triangle of Sadness, Glass Onion, Infinity Pool thing of like rich people satires.
Rich
like,
people assholes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
usually
these people
kind of strange setting, like on vacation. Yeah.
Every one of these people are assholes, right? Every single one of them. You got the actor who is a dickhead who only cares about himself and his own image. You got Tyler, Nicholas Holt, who's just like simping for the chef.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
it's he was like the best part of it. I thought like his interactions with the chef, just like how kind of submissive he was.
the title Tyler's bullshit.
Yeah. Tyler's bullshit. Yeah. I think Binging with Babish did a video. I don't know if you know who he is. He's like a cooking YouTuber. He basically recreates dishes from movies. I think he did a video on Tyler's bullshit from The Menu, and I'm like, that's funny. But
yeah, that movie. I just really love it. Even my dad liked it. And he was like, I loved it, but what happened? That's what he said.
Yeah, it's good.
He was literally like, I loved it, but I didn't know what was happening, so I explained it all, and he went, I still don't get it.
You know, I have a funny story about this. Well, it's not even really a story. It's just so when I went to see that in theaters, I realized that my therapist was sitting the row in front of me with her like girlfriends, basically. And after the movie, I bumped into her. But yeah, we were just like watching like kind of a dark movie. It's not like an insanely gory horror movie. That was one of my issues with it, as I wish it went further. But it was kind of funny to just bump into like my therapist there.
Your therapist. But yeah, I love that movie so much. There's a lot of intricate details in it, like the end when she wipes her face with the menu. After eating it, cool details. She beats him in the end because I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, she does certain things which it's just like fair play.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again and again and again. I think it's just really great. It's one of those movies where you can watch it and then you can pick up different details every single time.
I need to see it again because I thought it was okay. I enjoyed myself watching it, but I did feel it just wasn't as like I just found the satire wasn't as sharp as maybe some of those other movies that especially like Infinity Pool I liked a lot more in that way.
Oh yeah.
But I it's good fun. I see why people really like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit because there's quite a few.
No worries. Yeah.
500 Days of Summer. I watched with a couple of friends over Discord, and we had a depressing time. Let's just say, as all single people, we had a very depressing time watching that. But I just love that. I just love it. Expectation versus reality.
Yeah,
it's close to home. Because we all have that expectation in our heads versus what we actually see
for relationships. Yeah. And it's kind of meta in a way because like movies are the ones that do that. You know, they set these expectations. Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, like Smiths fans or what.
I like the Smiths, but I totally know what you mean about really obnoxious fans.
I've watched Tar for the third time.
Nice.
That
really
film.
need to catch up with it. It sounds.
I fucking love Tar. I'm just waiting for the Kanye West collab because they both. If you've seen the movie, you know where I'm coming from. But...
Well, I know kind of like what it's about generally. It's kind of about celebrity and cancel culture in a way. Yeah, that kind of ties into Kanye.
Yeah, which is why I said in my Letterboxd review, each time I watch this, I keep thinking to myself, when's the Tar and Kanye West collab happening?
Yeah,
because but I can't tell if it's actually smart or if it's making fun of me, and that's what's so good about it. Is it's like it's making fun of people who need to be made fun of, right?
Yeah,
people who are like with like a cigar in their mouth, like and an oracle, like
right. The sort of elitism,
elitist thing, and it's like there's just elements to that film which just Cate Blanchett should have won, or at least should have tied with.
I can't argue with that. Just from what I've heard, she I mean, I love her and everything, but yeah, that just sounds really great.
Tar is her best performance. Blue Jasmine, she won over that. Like,
she
doing Blue Jasmine
for Strange Things. Yeah, I liked her a lot in Nightmare Alley. I thought she did the whole femme fatale thing really well.
Yeah. But I love Tar. It's perfect. I watched God's Creatures with Paul Mescal, my boy.
Okay, nice.
My boy Paul Mescal, my favorite actor working today, and it was fine.
Okay.
I wanted to love it a lot.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if you've seen Carmen yet, because I know that's another.
Yes.
Okay. Was it?
It's that's worse.
Okay.
But yeah, this was very much kind of dull and uninteresting because the whole film revolves around sort of like an assault, and it's like Paul Mescal is blamed for it, but that doesn't come in till like 20 minutes or 30 minutes till the film ends, and it's like we're just watching an hour of nothing. Plus, I couldn't understand the word they were saying because they were very strong Irish.
Oh, okay.
Very strong Irish. All I heard was like loich. That's what I heard.
They do say that's something I've started doing ever since I moved there years ago. Was I start saying like in the middle of my like at the end of sentences basically. So like I'll just end and I'll be like, yeah, it was pretty good. Like
you just said it all times.
American accent, yeah.
But yeah, God's Creatures. I wanted to like it a little more than I did, but it was fine. It's not A24's worst movie, so there's that.
Okay.
Then I watched Submarine for the first time.
Okay.
Richard Ayoade.
I love him. Oh, I don't know if you've seen the
that.
He is funny. He is really funny.
That film, holy shit! That film broke me, man. Like Submarine broke me. It's like it's hard to explain without you seeing it, but it's
sure.
The first 20 minutes have this Wes Anderson kind of feel to it. Like it's very deadpan, very off, and then the back half of it turns into like the most depressing thing you've seen on Tumblr.
Huh.
And I love it. I love it so much.
Leon's a fan.
Yeah, Leon.
There you go.
Leon knows where it's at. But,
yeah. Okay. When did this come out? Because
2010.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know he had been making movies for that long.
But
he's starting to get more of a following now. Like I think he was in The Bad Guys. Like he did some voice work for that. I never saw that, but at least it's probably not going to be good, but at least he's getting the bag,
Like the back end of it just turns into this very surrealist, depressing drama of naivety and trying to be at two things at once, right? So he's trying to save his parents' marriage as well as trying to save his relationship with his girlfriend. And it's kind of like, what one does he want more? And it kind of turns into this really depressing spin of events, and it ends beautifully. The ending just broke me. I'm watching it again, definitely. I might bump it up to a 9 out of 10 instead of an 8.
Awesome.
Anyway, Big Short. Don't understand a single fucking thing that happened.
I do, and I feel bad that I do, but it's just because of what I studied in school. But yeah, no, I think that it's kind of funny. There's this layer to it because a lot of people I know have said the same thing. They're like, I can't understand it. But the funny thing is the movie is explaining it to you in a really condescending way, which I think
is doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it's doing it on purpose because I think it's kind of trying to be this is what the banks would do. The banks think this is really complicated. This isn't, but I'm going to explain it to you like it is, But yeah, I like that movie a lot.
I just hate Adam McKay. I just hate the guy.
I like some of his earlier movies, and then that one, and then immediately after The Big Short, his career just so far down for me. But
don't get me started on him, man. So, but The Big Short, it was like something mortgage bond, something Kendall Roy's in this, and then something Margot in a tub. Don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So honestly, I couldn't give it a rating.
Scene, I thought about this, and I was I think about all the different celebrity cameos they have where they explain stuff to you. The Margot Robbie one is really the only one that matters. If you understand that one, the other ones are basically them just
Anthony Bourdain just showing up my
Anthony Bourdain's my idol. I love that man, but the Selena Gomez one, they're basically explaining to you the same thing, but just in a different way. So, yeah.
The editing in that film's horrendous.
Yeah, I mean it's very I hate the editing in.
There's just freeze frames. Just freeze frames.
It's kind of funny in that one though, I think. But Don't Look Up. Yeah, the editing is. Awful.
Don't Look Up's bullshit. I don't like that film at all.
Yeah.
Fun movie. And then Doctor Strange yesterday. Doctor Strange 2. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't know why I wanted to rewatch it really. And then I rewatched It Follows last night with some friends. There was a very funny experience with my friends saying, "Ha! I knew this. Ha! I knew that," when they fucking didn't. Literally, I had to explain it to them in the end. They were insufferable to watch that with. They were insufferable. But, yeah, good movie. Decent. And then I rewatched Shang-Chi today, and again, it's fine.
See, I don't know if I would like Shang-Chi because I like martial arts movies a lot, and I like that it's kind of doing a MCU version of that. But I've heard that they take the bus scene from Police Story and then just use that, but it's entirely CG rendered. And I'm like, I hate that idea. But
the CGI is bad in it, and it got nominated for visual effects at the Oscars, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Is that pretty much everything you've been watching over the last week, or?
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
No, it's quite a bit. Yeah, no, I've got quite a bit too. I'll try and go through it decently fast. I'll just go from the 28th or something. So, I've been a friend and I are doing a Bond marathon this summer because I haven't seen all the movies yet. I've seen half, and we're just kind of even the ones we've seen, we're just kind of going through all of them. So I watched Goldfinger, which I like a lot. I think it's one of the best ones, top 5, top 10 probably. Just one of the most well put together, like really enjoyable action movies. And then I watched Thunderball a couple days later, which is I thought it was okay. I thought I would like it more than I did, just because Sean Connery Bond is a lot of fun, but the pace is like a lot slower and it's a lot longer than some of the other ones. So I don't know. It just kind of dragged for me a little bit, but it was fine. And then I watched No Hard Feelings, I think also on the 28th.
Oh,
yeah.
Like that one.
Yeah, that was a surprise for me. It was funny. And I was laughing a pretty fair amount. It wasn't like, it's being sold as like a return to the raunchy comedy, and it
is not raunchy.
It's not that raunchy. There's like one scene where like Jennifer Lawrence really goes for it, but it's not even in like a sexual way. It's in like she's just fighting people, and it's a lot of fun. But like, it wasn't as bold as I would have wanted, I guess.
That Man-Eater cover though, I listened to that a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was funny actually. Yeah. And then I'm trying to catch up on some more releases I missed this year. I watched Sanctuary, which I know you're a big fan of. Nice. Yeah, that was.
Did you like it?
It's funny because like when you're watching it, it's one of those kind of one location thrillers that you're like, okay, where is this going to end up? And you have a bunch of guesses in your head as like to where it could end up, and it kind of goes with like a relatively obvious one, but the way it does it is just so like satisfying and interesting to watch. And man, Margaret Qualley really chews the scene in that. Like
she gives my favorite performance of the year. I think
so. not just
one of them,
scene, which I liked a lot, but just in general, like she's just she really pulls off that like dominatrix thing really well. But like I like how it's not an explicitly sexual movie for a lot of it. It's like she's just trying to psychologically, like financially dominate this person. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
So she's trying to fuck with this guy.
Yeah. No, literally. Yeah.
But it's kind of like what would happen if the roles were reversed kind of thing, because usually it's the men who have the most power. But this movie is kind of like, what if the tables flip, and it's like, what if a woman has the power for once, and the implications that come with it. And Margaret Qualley,
and the guy too is like born into this ultra wealthy family, and
rich bad again.
Rich bad again. Yeah, and she's like seems like this kind of poor middle class person just trying to make it, and she finds a ticket to the top basically. And then I watched I did a rewatch of Day of the Dead, which is the third movie in the George Romero zombie trilogy. Honestly, I think it's my favorite one. Like I like the other two, Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, a lot, but Day of the Dead just has something else. Like those Tom Savini like gore effects are just like unlike anything in the other two movies. And even though the like social satire isn't as like in your face, it's still there, and it's like really interesting. Like it's a really good character movie, kind of one location as well, like we were talking about. And then I also watched Woody Allen's A Rainy Day in New York, starring Chalamet. And I've been wanting to watch this for a while solely because I found out that that Timothy Chalamet's character name is Gatsby Wells.
Sorry, repeat that.
Gatsby Wells is Timothy Chalamet's character name.
Oh, that's what you're with. I was thinking.
Could you pick a more pretentious name? And
basically,
every character in it is Woody Allen. Like to an extent, they're all just a mouthpiece for Woody Allen. There's also a really weird, uncomfortable detail in it where there's a character in it named Roland Pollard, which sounds an awful lot like Roman Polanski. And he is a European director in the United States. And like Timothy Chalamet's girlfriend wants to like follow him for a day. And they have this really like weird interaction. And I'm like, is Woody Allen just like defending all of his like weirdo friends? Like like his evil friends? I don't know.
He's turning into an asshole even more in his senile age.
Yeah, it's bad. I'll just sum it up as it was bad. Gatsby Wells was all I had to say for my review.
Gatsby Wells. That's like Gaspar Noé in Love saying that Gaspar is the best name.
Oh yeah. It's yeah. Oh, it's very similar.
He's like Gaspar is the best name.
And then last three here, I watched Freddy Got Fingered, which we'll have to talk about like as a separate topic, like in this stream, because like that we could go.
You and Leon need to talk about that film.
Yeah, I really want to talk about it with Leon because it is fascinating. Like I've never seen a movie that's
the elephant bit at the end
just like resonate with me as much as it did. Like, like it is like just like I think it's a genius movie. Like like the satire in it about those like, kind of raunchy comedies, but. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I only watched it because my friend was like, "Oh, it's got Finch from American Pie in it," and she's got a thing for Finch from American Pie.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I was like, "What did you?"
Yeah, and she.
I was like, "Why did you make me sit through this, Jada?" But whatever.
No, definitely.
It was quite funny actually. I was laughing my ass off just because of how bad it is.
It's bad. Well, like okay, so but it's also like I feel
masterpiece.
Like I feel like the comedy. Yeah, let me pull that up.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, and they say this in the Red Letter Media video, and I think it's totally true that I don't think it's funny because of the actual gags that happen, like all the crazy gore stuff and all just the crazy shit that's in it. I don't think that's why it's funny. I think it's funny because like. This stuff is in a movie, like and like Tom Green is kind of trying to sabotage his own movie because he doesn't really want to be making it. Like the backstory to it is kind of fascinating. We'll have to talk about that a little bit.
That's what Leon told me as well. He was like, it's like the studio gave him this much money and he just didn't give a shit. It was just
and I looked it up and it was $14 million, which is a decent budget now. But that was $14 million in 2001. So adjusted for inflation, I don't know what that would be. But
30 mil probably, I reckon.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then last two here, I rewatched Silence of the Lambs last night, which love that movie. One of my favorites. Have you seen that, by the way?
I actually haven't.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just a great like little like cat and mouse game kind of. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's one of those like classic movies that like you can't say much new about it. And then this morning I also watched I rewatched Brendan Fraser in Journey to the Center of the Earth. Do you remember that movie?
Yes. I used to watch that movie religiously.
Me too.
Like
as a kid.
10 odd years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. And I have to say it didn't hold up great, but Brendan Fraser is still like really funny in it. Like that, like his like comedic performance still worked really well, which is kind of what I was hoping for anyway. So, all right, well that's all I watched. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into some comments here. Got quite a few. We've got Elliot from IMO Reviews. Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, hope you're all well. Question for you both: what's a movie that you once loved that didn't hold up on a rewatch? Well, kind of Journey to the Center of the Earth, but I did like that enough to where I'll try and give another answer. But can you think of anything off the top of your head?
On a rewatch, so one I loved, but now not really. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've talked about this before, but like Forrest Gump. I mean, I never really loved it though. Like when I was a kid, I saw it and I was like, this is fine. It was never one that like really stuck with me. But and then I watched it like years later and I really didn't like it. But
Romeo and Juliet's one of them.
Oh, okay. The Baz Luhrmann one.
No, Romeo and Juliet. The anime.
I thought you were talking about the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet.
Looking at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but Tim Burton, I hate that movie. Creeps me out still.
Yeah, I don't like that movie.
I'm just looking through these movies and I'm like, how have I watched some of these? How have I watched some of these?
I mean, when I was a kid, I also kind of similar to the Journeys to the Center of the Earth one. I thought that The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl was the greatest thing of all time. And
Beverly Hills Chihuahuas one.
Oh wow! Okay.
I have a Chihuahua, so
yeah. I mean, fair, but yeah, that's
ugly
a
little
movie.
fucker.
I remember the trailer for that really well because like they introduced it as like it was. They set it up like a monster movie in the trailer, and then he reveals that he's a Chihuahua, and then it's just like it shows you what the movie is after that. Yeah, so I'll say maybe Shark Boy and Lava Girl because that Robert Rodriguez just has a really ugly like 3D aesthetic to a lot of his work. I've certainly rewatched that since I was a kid and didn't like it, but yeah.
I'm looking now at some other stuff. Fantastic Four movies.
Okay,
the
I don't think
old
I've seen
ones.
those, to be fair.
I used to love those as a kid, but I've grown a brain since then. So, yeah, Nanny McPhee! Nanny McPhee! I used to fucking love Nanny McPhee, but now it's kind of shit.
That Nanny McPhee creeped me out as a kid. Like, just I remember
The
something.
boil.
Isn't her smile kind of strange? Like doesn't she have like weird teeth or something?
She got
sticks out of my brain.
There's this other one, Pacific Rim Uprising I used to like, but now I'm like, nah.
Okay.
It's kind of dumb. A lot of Marvel movies I used to love, but now I'm like, yeah, fuck them. Get rid of them. But apart from that, I think that's it. Click,
the Adam Sandler one. That's such a creepy premise. It's like what if they did. Do you know About Time?
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, me too, right? But it's like if they did that, but he's like an utter sleazeball. Like, I kind of want to check that out, to be fair. But we also have Matt saying, "Hey guys, what are your thoughts on Greta Gerwig writing and directing 2 Narnia movies for Netflix?" It's a weird choice. I rewatched one of the more recent Narnia movies, like the one with like the one where they actually like CGI do, Aslan and everything. Oh yeah, the one with Tilda Swinton as the White Witch. I didn't really like it.
The first one.
Yeah, I thought it had like weird like trying to convert little kids to religion like undertones to it, and I was just like, and the CGI wasn't great. I was just kind of bored by it. So Greta Gerwig is a weird choice for that, but sure, okay. She could probably make something good out of it.
Just leave her alone. Just let her do another Ladybird, please. That's all. Like,
yeah, Ladybird.
She's 2 for 2 right now, right?
She's
Little Women and Ladybird are 2 of my favorite movies. Period.
Yeah,
right.
She's great. Yeah. No,
I'm praying that Barbie's good. I'm praying that Barbie's good. I don't know if it will be, but it must be, considering they've tapped her for every fucking franchise under the sun.
I think regardless, I mean, I think it's going to be good, but I think it's the more important thing for the studios is if it makes money. It's definitely going to make money.
Go, we get that bag. Hell yeah.
Did somebody say that? Sorry, I'm at the top of the comments.
Yeah, Leon said it above.
There we go. Nice. Hell yeah. Alrighty. Let me go to another. True Action. You're my favorite, man. Greetings, my little sausages and my Action Jackson.
Action Jackson.
I like how I'm Action Jackson and a sausage. Sausage.
Both.
Sausages.
It's 20. Oh.
Pretty good fingered cat.
Don't. Then Rip Torn throws him in the toilet.
I gotta tell you, when I woke up yesterday, I did not expect to see Rip Torn's ass, but I did. Yeah. We got Leon, of course, saying, "Hey lads, how's it going?" Yeah, I hope you're well, Leon.
We miss you, Leon.
Had a great time last week, man. That was a lot of fun.
Hope to speak to you soon, buddy.
Yeah. We got the view with Drew saying, "Hey everybody, what's up?" Hey Drew. Yeah, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well also.
Soap on a rope.
Wait, what?
Leon just said that soap on a rope.
He's just gonna quote the entire movie in the chat.
The elephant bit gets me, where he just
I know.
And then he goes flying into the house, like.
I love how at the end, and this is part of my of like the whole theory about it being like basically a shit post, but like, you know, when they get back from Pakistan and they're in the US and they're at the airport, somebody has a giant sign that says like, when the fuck is this movie gonna end? I'm like, Tom Green just put that in there because he felt like he could.
And it's funny because there's a surgery scene and it's his actual surgery he had.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's really gross then. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
there's an actual cancer surgery he had.
Oh my god. Yeah, Cole and I talked about that. We were like, why is there just surgery on the scene or on the screen? But we figured it was like, you know, effects or something because they had.
No, it's funny because he recorded his actual fucking surgery and put it in his own movie.
Yeah, that's a ballsy move. But okay, so one of the things I wanted to point out about Freddy Got Fingered, and I kind of mentioned in the group chat yesterday, because this was something that the Red Letter Media video doesn't mention. But okay, so if you look up what the movie is about, it says that it has to do with a plot involving Freddy framing his dad, basically saying that he did very bad things to his brother. That plot does not get referenced at all until 51 minutes into this 86-minute movie. And everything else before that is like, there's some plot elements, but it's mostly just nonsense. Like, it's just like the first gag, the whole like horse thing, has like nothing to do with the plot, and it's a complete tonal shift. Like, it's just again, I think he doesn't want to make a movie, but they gave him the money to do it, so he's like, okay, I'm just gonna make something awful.
It's quite funny if you think of it, though.
It's so man, it's some galaxy brain stuff. You got Norin saying, "Hey, what's up, peeps? Hope all is well.
What's up, Norin?
Hope you're doing well, Norin. Still celebrating the championship. I think we're all celebrating here in Colorado still." Broccoli Boy says, "Joss and Jackson are chats."
And that's Brady.
Yeah, Brady. Thanks. Brady's cool. Brady's really cool. Got Mike from Did You See That saying 2 legends in the house. Thank you so much, Mike. I'm going to be on your stream on Thursday with like Scott, Pete, somebody else that I can't remember. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for the invite. We got the Winslow Wave, the iconic Winslow Wave. Thank you.
Winslow Wave.
Sanitizer. Why do you need hand sanitizer? Just because we're talking about Freddy Got Fingered? Winslow also says, just watch John Huston's Key Largo. Good film. What's your favorite noir? I really want to check out some of John Huston's stuff. I've heard really good things. I would say my favorite noir is either this one, Double Indemnity. This is directed by Billy Wilder. It's a really good kind of like insurance fraud crime film where they have the classic kind of like femme fatale elements with the lead character. I like this one a lot. And then I also like Kiss Me Deadly, which I actually forget who did. That might be John Huston, actually.
I've just got to sort something out real quick. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, totally, yeah. But Kiss Me Deadly is like a very traditional like noir setup. And then it has one of the most like crazy, horrific, like Lynchian finales you're ever going to see in like a 50s movie. So yeah, definitely check that one out. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, probably those two. But I might like this one a little bit more, even though it's more like traditional. It's just so well done. So yeah, that'd be my answer. And I'll ask Josh about it when he gets back. But for now, I'll just kind of go through some more comments. I mean, yeah, Me Before You sounds like it could be unintentionally funny. Yeah, and kind of what you're saying with this next comment about how like sometimes if movies take themselves like way too seriously and then don't have the actual like emotional resonance to back it up, yeah, the result is like really funny. And Leon also says, although I was a bit of a sucker for Last Christmas, don't hate me. I haven't seen that, so I can't really hate you. I'll have to see if Josh has seen that. I think I know that one off the top of my head. I don't know if that's just one of those generic, like, kind of Christmas melodramas, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Oh, okay. It's like a genuinely solid Christmas schlock. Emily Clark is a delight in that film.
My dad just called Secret Invasion Easy Sentinels. Like,
okay, all right. Have you seen Last Christmas, Josh?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. The twist is stupid, but
okay. All right, it's maybe I'll give it a watch then if both you and Leon are saying it's like not too bad for like Christmas melodramatic stuff.
Emilia Clarke, can't go wrong with her.
Yeah, there's something else that. Oh yeah, I just wanted to because I answered this question, but I don't think you did. What's no worries.
So
you're all good. You're all good. What's your favorite noir film?
I don't know if I've seen any, if I'm honest with you.
Or I guess you could maybe, if you're not sure, maybe you could throw like neo noir in there, because I feel like that's a lot more common.
Neo noir, then I'll probably say Drive. Does that count?
Pick. Yeah, that would count. Yeah, good pick.
Let me look on Letterboxd for noir films because I have no idea.
I mean, you could even count like. I mean, this is kind of like reaching for it, but you could even count stuff like Blade Runner as neo noir. But I mean, it's definitely doing that. But it's pretty removed from like the core stuff of the genre.
I've literally seen none of these movies. Which one?
Oh, okay. No worries.
All 800 of them, and I haven't seen any of them.
They're cool to get into. I honestly would recommend Double Indemnity as a good one to start with because it's very like classic staples, and it's just done really well. I've heard The Maltese Falcon is also a good one to start with. But yeah, if anybody else has noir recommendations for Josh, we could do that in the comments. And then we also have Mike from Did You See That asking, what's a movie you've seen recently that you'd give 0 stars to if you could? Let me flip through it because that's a good question.
Me Before You's close. Fuck that. The Flash, maybe. Piece of shit.
Seen it. I'm just waiting for it to get to HBO Max because I was like not interested.
You won't be waiting long. It's next week, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is like with superhero movies, they just dump them to streaming like as fast as possible.
I find this funny, right? I saw an article earlier saying Dwayne Johnson has just laughed at James Gunn after seeing The Flash fail. And it's like, your movie failed as well. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, like neither of them could make a DCEU movie a success. Yeah.
But
I'm just looking at like recent 1 stars I've done. I don't know if any of these can be 0 stars. Oh, Ghosted's pretty close.
Oh my god, that was that. Yeah, fuck that movie.
I couldn't. Literally, the only thing I liked about it was one line where Chris Evans is talking about how much he likes The Exorcist. And I like that line.
Of course you'd like that one.
Because I also like The Exorcist, but that's it. Yeah, I'll say Ghosted. Yeah. Yeah. There's other bad ones.
Get the Smirnoff out for it.
Yeah. Like I watched Argento's Dracula.
Dad!
Is your dad like responding?
No, it's just making noises.
So is that?
Yeah.
Oh no, you gave a couple of answers, right?
But yeah. I think the main one I would say is probably Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. I've been avoiding it just because of I've heard things about like how kind of insensitive it is, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh, it is. He is a fucking. Every character in that movie is a sociopath, right? They are all sociopath. Like Evan, he's got like social anxiety and all this. He's like, ooh, he's shivering my timbers, like leaving the door, and he goes to school and just starts singing. But he has this cast. He jumped off a tree for some reason, and this kid called Connor had to sign his cast because he's like, oh, we can both be alone or whatever. Okay. Connor dies. He tops himself because of loneliness, basically. Which and then the parents are like, but you were his friend. And
oh my god,
he just keeps this lie up for the whole movie. And do you know what's funny about it? He just does it so he can get into the sister's pants.
Oh my god, that
to get into Caitlin Dover's pants. Not to mention, not to mention, his friend who's also got social anxiety and depression. She makes up this lie where they have this whole garden thing where they're trying to get donations so that they can make something in this Connor's honor, right?
Yeah.
She leaks this thing so that they will get more donations, and it's like you can't leak something like that. You're all
like, okay,
even the parents, even the fucking
regardless
parents,
of what you're trying to do, that's messed up. Yeah.
Even the parents are assholes in this. Right?
Yeah.
Julianne Moore's an ass.
Sometimes the worst kind of movie is like the one that's trying to sell you like genuinely positive sentiment while it is itself like just full of evil people. You know, that's kind of what it sounds like it is.
That film just pissed me off. Like, I was watching it with my friend, right, and we were just like, how is this happening? Yeah, bad movie, funny movie, unintentionally funny. Ben Platt looks 30, even though he's supposed to be playing like a 16-year-old or something.
That's odd.
I love Ben Platt. I love his voice. I like Do Evan Hansen's music, but
okay. Right.
Film itself.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what it sounds like. Leon says, "I thought the menu was fine. Wasn't something that worked for me as I thought I'd hoped it would." I felt similarly. I kind of hoped it would go further with some of what it was trying to do, but I did enjoy it. Like I had a good time in theaters watching it, and I would totally watch it again to see if I get more out of it.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, no, totally fair. Matt says he also enjoyed Last Christmas. Okay, lots of people like recommending, like certainly relative to like other kind of Christmas melodramas. Like, all right, I'll have to check this one out.
It's pretty fun. I liked it.
Cool. Some solid performances, but I wish it dug into the themes a little more. You know, I think he's talking about the menu.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Pretty much was my complaint about it. Yeah, and like I said, I also just kind of wish it went further with some of the violence. I liked that it was really mean-spirited to a lot of the characters, like especially to like the Tyler character and just some of the rich people that get killed off. Like I like the tone of it. It's just I wish it went further and was more like cartoonishly gory or something like that.
I love the food critic part where she's moaning about the emotion and they just bring a big bowl of it.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, that part's great.
Some more cracked emotion from the chef.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds like we're pretty much on the same page with it. Tar is something I liked on my first viewing, but over time my love for it has grown. Can't wait to revisit it. I hear a lot of people saying the same thing. It's like it's a dense film, but like the more you dig into it, the more you can get.
I see it as a comedy, you know, at points.
It really sounds like it is. Like it's funny. I saw the trailer and it looked like a serious biopic and like a fake biopic because Lydia Tarr isn't like a real person, right? But
and they did a good job at trying to make it look like they were real.
Right. Like it's like it looks kind of like a black comedy version of something like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, where they try and where they're doing like a fake biopic kind of thing. View Drew says, good news, I saw the new Indiana Jones movie and I got a Blu-ray from Best Buy. A Blu-ray movie from Best Buy. Which movie? I'm assuming you're not talking about the Blu-ray for the new Indiana Jones because that's like freshly in theaters. So
unless he's a time traveler, then I don't know.
In that case, I want your powers, man. I want I like the power to go a few years into the future where the price for all the current stuff has gone way down as well. So let us know in the comments which movie you got. What'd you say, Josh?
Ooh, that did not do well opening. 60 mil.
On a budget of what?
350.
Holy shit.
Times that by like 1.5 because
that is so much worse than I thought it was going to. I didn't think
they need to make about 750, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say a movie generally needs to make at least 2 times the budget to break even. Sometimes more than that if it's like a really big movie that needs a lot of
It's made 130 worldwide in its opening. That is fucking horrendous.
That's abysmal. Jesus. Well, I mean, hopefully it means they won't make another one, but yeah. We were talking about Carmen earlier, briefly. Leon says he saw Carmen early through a review copy I got. I was pretty underwhelmed with it, unfortunately. Paul's solid in it, though.
Yeah, he is.
I liked the trailer. The trailer looks cool. Like, is it? I mean, I don't know much about the story, like the opera, but did it just not resonate very much, or what was it?
No, it's really messy.
Mm-hmm.
Really messy. It's I loved the way it looks.
Yeah, it's
I really
a really
do like
looking movie from the trailer. Yeah.
Paul Mescal was good. But apart from that, there's nothing to really digest or really latch onto.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
It's really fucking plain, and it's sad because I really wanted to see it. It's like one of my most anticipated of the year. I saw it and I was disappointed with it. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I heard kind of like mixed review. I think it premiered at Cannes, right?
I think last year. I think
last year. Oh, okay. I thought it would have been like one of the earlier releases from Cannes this year.
No, it struggled to get distribution, and then Sony picked it up.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I could see how selling an opera movie would be difficult.
I love that Paul Mescal's getting all these different roles though. Like I love that Paul Mescal's getting about because he gave my favorite performance ever in After Sun. So
right.
I'm glad he's getting more roles.
You know, Paul Mescal went to my school, went to my university. What? Yeah, Trinity College Dublin. He was an alum of that. And he obviously
he was.
He was obviously in Normal People, the show, and I was actually going to school there while they were shooting some of it there. It was cool, but it was also kind of annoying because sections of campus would be blocked off for parts of the day, so we'd have to like go around to like get to our classes and stuff like that. So that was kind of annoying. But
I've seen Normal People, I think 5-6 times.
Nice.
Just binged it 5-6 times.
I still need to see it actually. I've heard really good things.
It is my favorite show probably, except for Euphoria season 1. Euphoria season 2 can suck my dick. That season sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Normal People. I even bought the soundtrack for Normal People on vinyl. Like that's how much of a fan I've got the book as well. So nice. I'm a big.
The book is like a big bestseller in Ireland. Like every time I would go to a bookstore, I would always like for years it kind of felt like it would always be in like the bestseller, like in the window of the shop kind of thing.
Yeah.
Leon also says Submarine is a great flick.
Yes.
Cool. I want to watch it. Richard Iowa. Have you seen The Souvenir, Josh? Either one of them?
I've got it on Apple TV, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, the first one I would say is more difficult to get into than the second one. Like if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, the first one has like a 39% audience score or something.
People wanted guns and lasers and shit like that.
That's mostly what it is, I think. It got a relatively wide release with A24.
It did.
It's a really I actually really love those two movies. Actually, I like the second one a little bit more, but they're both really good. They're about different things. Is kind of the issue. Like I think a lot of people don't like the first one. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like the first one because the main boyfriend character, Tom Burke's character, is like really unlikable. But that's kind of the point. I mean, like he's a drug addict. It's kind of like people in your life can be toxic, but you can still be kind of sucked into the relationship, and you can still care about them as people. It's a very complicated film. But anyway, Richard Ayoade has like a supporting role in both of them, and he's really funny, like especially in the second one. But
I really like Joanna Hogg as a director. So
she's cool. She's really cool.
The Eternal Daughter, her Lewis film.
I still need to see that actually. Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah. Leon says it feels like it's indebted to Wes Anderson, but I don't really mind that. It's got a great score, fun performances, and very interesting direction. That's kind of what you were saying at the start, Josh, right? Like it was kind of like the opening of it gave you kind of Wes Anderson vibes. Yeah, it's very much like that. Yeah. Winslow says Alex Turner's Submarine soundtrack is great.
Yeah, the boy from Arctic Monkeys.
That's what I thought it was. Okay, I have I have a friend who like has Alex Turner in her like Instagram username, and I'm like, oh yeah, where is he from again? But yeah, it's knowing her music taste, it's definitely Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, honestly, I really like Arctic Monkeys, but yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Good soundtrack, bro. Good soundtrack.
Yeah, I have one of their albums on vinyl, I think, somewhere. But, yeah.
I want to get AM, I think.
Is that the one with the radio wave as the logo kind of thing?
Yeah, with Do I Want to Know on it? Yeah.
That's the one I have. Yeah. I don't even know if that's my favorite album of theirs, but it's a good one. I think your mic is doing something kind of funky, Josh.
Oh, was it?
Getting a little bit of
static.
Static, yeah.
Oh Jesus! Just heard it. This microphone is.
No worries. Winslow says, "I've only seen Submarine once, but I listen to the album all the time." Okay, I need to check that out then, because if it's
better?
Much better, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, if it's got an Arctic Monkeys soundtrack, then yeah, great. A lot of people are just echoing this exact point, so that's the people have spoken. It's doing it a little bit again.
Oh, for fuck! I don't.
Like how Josh is just like totally muted here.
Is that better? Can't tell.
It's better for now. We'll see how it gets, but yeah, it sounds good now.
We'll see how it gets.
Yeah. Leon says, "I'm going to be honest. I can't stand Adam McKay's dramas, in quotations. I feel like I absolutely hate The Big Short. I hate Vice and I hate Don't Look Up. I really like The Big Short, but I think part of the difference is for me is like The Big Short. So I've read the book as well. It's the source material for that is great. I can understand being a little bit annoyed by some of the editing choices and stuff that Adam McKay does and kind of how smug it is. But I think that smugness is kind of like where in his other movies it's just smugness. In The Big Short, it like there's a further point to it, which is like this is how the financial industry is. Is like they treat people like idiots, pretty much. So
yeah, I just don't like The Big Short very much. I was confused.
That's totally fair.
I don't know.
Yeah. Leon also says, "Don't Look Up." It's probably one of my least favorite films in recent memory. I think it might be my most hated movie of like the decade. I really hate that movie.
Don't blame you. It's bad. It's bad. It's pretty stinky.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it's a cool concept, right? Like about sort of doing because when he made it, he wanted to make it about climate change, and that's kind of what it is. It's a really bad climate change analogy, just because climate change is much more like of a gradual disaster, and it's more like systemic and stuff. Whereas this is like, hey, an asteroid's coming to Earth, and so it's just like the most lazy analogy. Yeah, I don't know. It's and just the characters in it are really annoying. Like, I can't stand it. I'm glad we're on the same page with that. And Multiverse Madness is an okay Raimi flick, not top tier, but there's some fun schlock to be had there. I agree. I just think that there's not enough in there to overpower the Marvel stuff. Like the Marvel stuff is what I don't like about it. And there's some Raimi schlock in there. It's kind of funny. I think a lot of people, like Marvel fans, when they went to see it, that's what they didn't like about it. They didn't like the weird, Evil Dead stuff, but they liked the generic. And I'm like, I'm the total opposite, but I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I didn't see a Sam Raimi film before it, so I had no idea what his style was like, right? And then I watched it, and I was like, yeah, I kind of dig it, but at the same time, I don't. I think Marvel had him like a chokehold. They were like, you can't do this, you can't do that. But
yeah, it's kind of like it's funny because like basically the same thing happened to Sam Raimi when he made Spider-Man 3. Like he didn't want to put in, Venom in the film. I don't think he wanted the symbiote or anything like that. So, but the studio was like, no, you have to put this in there. And so he did it, and the movie's messy, but he also like kind of makes fun of the studio a little bit just by putting goofy stuff in there, like the whole dance stuff. I just feel like that. I feel like that wouldn't have been in the movie if Sam Raimi didn't have issues with the studio. And there's not, and in Multiverse of Madness, I just kind of felt like Marvel had so much power, and that they didn't let him put anything like that in there, except for just maybe a few moments. But it just wasn't enough for me.
I think there was some very creative stuff in Mom. I'm just gonna call it Mom. I can't be bothered to call it whatever. But I think there's some really clever things, especially with like the mirror stuff when she gets trapped in the mirror and she uses the reflections to wake her way out. I think that was
I thought that was I enjoyed that. Maybe Leon can agree. I thought it was like straight out of Prince of Darkness, the John Carpenter film that deals with like the mirror parallel universe, basically. Yeah.
I enjoyed it on a rewatch, actually. I had a lot of fun with it. Again, it's not perfect. It has a myriad of fucking flaws, but the Marvel movie is one of the more interesting ones, and I had a decent time with it. So yeah,
it's fun. It's better than you can say for like some Marvel movies, for sure. Yeah, it follows rules. I still need to watch it. I've had it on DVD forever, and I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it tonight. We'll see. Oh no, I was gonna watch Blowout tonight because it's the 4th of July, and that's the only 4th of July movie. We got Winslow saying, I've been checking out some of Ferreira's work after hearing you and Leon talk about his work. I've seen Miss 45.
This is where
because you've only seen Padre Pio, right?
I saw like 20 minutes of it and I had enough.
That's not a good intro to Abel Ferreira. So yeah, Miss 45, King of New York, Bad Lieutenant. King of New York is my favorite so far. Cool. That's probably my least favorite out of those three, but King of New York's still really good. Like that's a great Christopher Walken performance. It's a awesome character study. Yeah, Josh, if you're going to get into his work, we recommended on the last stream that you should start with something like King of New York, or maybe Miss 45.
Right.
And yeah, that's kind of a good intro.
I just watched Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction, and he's like stuck a watch up my ass.
Yeah, he's got such a weird. I love that's one of my favorite like details in Pulp Fiction. Is just that scene because like.
Ferrara, not Tesfaye. Love it.
Wait, what is it? A later comment?
Yeah, Leon said about Abel, not Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd. But love it.
There you go. And Winslow also says that Walken is terrific in King of New York. Great presence.
Shut the watch up my ass.
What's funny is like it is the King of New York is a great like campy at times Christopher Walken performance, but it also like really is kind of emotional and I don't know. It's a dark story, like a lot of Abel's best stuff. But like he does kind of ham it up a little bit. Leon says I watched Day of the Dead for the first time earlier this year. It's great. Yeah, I think it's like it gets overlooked with like the other ones in the trilogy just because like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead are such like classics. I mean, I know you're not the biggest horror guy in the world. Have you seen any of those movies or?
No.
Okay, I think you'd probably like Night of the Living Dead a lot. It's actually Dawn of the Dead I can recommend pretty strongly too. That one's just Dawn of the Dead is just a lot of fun. But Night of the Living Dead is like a legitimately like very important historical film. Not just in that it invented zombies, but also just kind of the social satire that's going on with it. I would definitely recommend that one. The Criterion version is really good. It's got a nice like 4K transfer. And yes, Savina's gore effects have never been better. Yeah, I think Day of the Dead is the best one he did, and he's done a lot of really great stuff. Like his work on the Friday the 13th movies is pretty incredible. But yeah, Day of the Dead. That scene of, I won't spoil it too much, but a certain character getting ripped apart is like the best. Some of the best. Like it's better than any gore in The Walking Dead, like which came out 20 years later, with also really good special effects artists. So yeah. Dawn is still my favorite, but Day has some of the best Romero moments ever. That's totally fair. Dawn is so much fun. It's just like, I just love that detail that these people, they die and become zombies, and when they come back when they're reanimated, they're all compelled to go back to the place that gave them meaning in life, which is just the mall. It's just like they're just they're consumers, like, even as zombies. I just think that's really funny. And then Leon also says, I've only seen 2 Alan flicks, Annie Hall, which I really liked, and Midnight in Paris, but I kind of hated.
I didn't like Annie Hall. It was just him going for 2 hours, and I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it seems like Woody Allen in a lot of his movies just casts everybody like as himself,
as an extension of himself.
Yeah. Like in Rainy Day in New York, he didn't actually show up, but it felt like every character was just him. Like, it is like the worst Timothée Chalamet performance you will ever
really
see. Like,
that bad?
So bad in it. Like, to be fair to him, it's the script that's the problem. Like, you could give Daniel Day-Lewis those lines and he would struggle with it, but like, he's still so bad in it.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Winslow says, yeah, Rainy Day in New York is Alan at his most insufferable. Oh my god, it's one of the most pretentious things I've seen in a while. Yeah, really bad. I am here to talk about it. I'm assuming, yes, Freddy Got Fingered, the masterpiece. I mean, we kind of covered some of it, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to say about it? I mean, there's a lot, like, just to cover.
Sausages.
That's another thing that I feel like he just, like, I don't think that's funny, like the whole sausages thing. It's a lame
No,
gag.
it's not.
But the fact that he thinks it's funny enough to put in the movie, that's funny. Like, you have to like go on the meta level to like to laugh.
Exactly.
I cannot call Freddy Got Fingered bad. It's not bad. It's very good. Rip Torn is one of the greatest comedic performances of our generation. Yeah, he's such a weird character in it. Like, I love how he basically just like falls for everything Freddy ever does. Like Freddy just there's like the time like he convinced, like, Gordy convinces him that he's like actually getting his life together, even though his evidence that he gives for this is like the lamest, cheapest thing of all time. And Rip Torn's just like, oh yeah, great, here's $100, like, go celebrate or whatever.
No words for that movie at all.
I genuinely reference Rip Torn's delivery in the bathroom scuba gear scene with Brady on a daily basis. Oh yeah, I saw that your most recent review for the film was just like, what was it? It's like the "Get out of my scuba gear, you imbecile." That's a great scene. Winslow says Silence of the Lambs is my favorite Dem film. Is it Dem or Demi? I think it's Dem, but I don't know. The way he uses subjective camera is great. Definitely something wild if you haven't seen it. Yeah, I think I kind of, the way I talked about it in my review is that the film is trying to show you like different ways like people can be evil. Like, they can be people that you don't expect are evil, like people like Hannibal Lecter, who were, he was in a position of power, like as a psychiatrist, and he just like abused people. They can be people you definitely expect to be evil, but then maybe more evil than those things are just like the institutions that are supposed to help us that just fail us, and just allow this kind of evil to roam free. I think that's just kind of what's brilliant about it. And yeah, the camera work is great. Yeah, it's a really well shot. I definitely recommend checking that out. And I haven't seen this. Have you seen Stop Making Sense, Josh? Yeah. I think it's a music movie, if I'm not mistaken. But not like a biopic. I feel like a lot of it is I think it's just like a concert or something like that. I've seen a couple clips from it, but it has like a 4.6 on Letterboxd. Like, it's one of the highest rated movies on the platform. So yeah, and Leon also is saying maybe something wild. actually didn't know he did that one. And he says, I love Jackson's distaste for Forrest Gump. I mean, like, I feel like that take just pisses off a lot of people because, like, Forrest Gump is totally beloved. I don't know. I don't want to, like, just totally hate on people's opinions or anything. It's just, like, really, it just doesn't work for me. That's the main thing, you know? I don't want to go out of my way to just, like, shit on Forrest Gump, but yeah.
But you do. You do.
I mention it when it's relevant. Like I was asked a question and I think it was a relevant answer, but yeah, I need to stop bringing it up.
Oh my god!
What?
Do you remember a film called The Adam Project? Because
with Ryan Reynolds.
I forgot it even existed.
Yeah, I never saw it, but it's. I mean, I hate Ryan Reynolds. That's another one of my hot takes. But like, it just didn't. It didn't really sell me enough to make me want to go see it, even though it's just on Netflix conveniently. But
yeah, I'm trying to find Leon's Don't Look Up review, and I just came across Adam Project, and I was like, that exists. I forgot it completely exists.
Yeah, no, that's and Leon also says Nomeo. I'm assuming he's talking about Nomeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Is that the one that had the in the trailer? It had the Crocodile Rock Elton John song. Is that? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's in the movie. Yeah.
Oh, that's in the movie too. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it while racing with lawnmowers, and then they literally do the slow motion bit when they do a slow motion thing. Ah, he sent it to me. Thanks, Neil.
Okay. There you go.
Great line already. Most embarrassing film I've watched since Free Guy.
That he watched or that you watched?
That he watched.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, we talked about his hatred for Free Guy on my last stream.
I fucking don't like Free Guy at all. I had the 4K and I'm glad I got rid of it because I don't like the movie.
I watched the scene that he told me to watch, and it really does seem like Reddit came up with it. Like it's like
it's like a Reddit child was like, "Oh, floss. Let's get Channing Tatum to do the floss. Let's get Fortnite L's in the chat. Fuck off."
Yeah, and like Ryan Reynolds is like the poster child for that kind of humor, and that's why I don't like him. Like,
it's made by a 45-year-old man.
Oh yeah, Sean Levy. That's right. Yeah. Well, did you know he's directing? Sean Levy's directing Deadpool 3. So Deadpool 3 would probably be more of the same, more of like the Free Guy kind of stuff.
It's just gonna get Deadpool going L.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't like Deadpool 2 at all. Like I thought that went way too far in terms of all that stuff. But I kind of like the first one though. The first one I kind of enjoyed. We got Jason here saying I'm watching Band of Brothers for July 4th. It's my favorite miniseries. Do you have a favorite miniseries? I'll have to check, but I like Band of Brothers a lot. I watched it in high school, and that really stuck out as like a good like. I like the way that they portray war in it. It's I don't remember that much about it otherwise, but let me see if I can find a good miniseries.
Chernobyl's great. Chernobyl is up there.
Yeah.
Big Little Lies is great. Looking at the ones I've seen, I'm literally Normal People's the best one though. Normal People is where it's at. Like, fuck me, like that show destroys me. The Luca Guadagnino one he did was pretty good.
Okay.
We Are Who We Are. That was pretty good. Bunch of documentaries from what's his nugs. The Idol was my favorite series. Fuck off, Leon. Don't get me started on episode 5. Like,
you guys are almost making me want to watch it. Like, I'm very curious.
Unbelievable. I forgot about Unbelievable. That was a good one. Letterboxd is breaking for me right now. But,
I'm gonna say okay. So I haven't logged a lot of miniseries on Letterboxd. I'm gonna say probably Squid Game. That's up there. I really, it's honestly like one of my favorite like battle royale media kind of things, just because I think that the what they do with the character archetypes in that is really different than like the Hunger Games or Battle Royale or something like that. They really kind of subvert expectations. And then other than that, yeah, Band of Brothers is good. I also like Planet Earth. I know it's a docu-miniseries, but like that's like I think Planet Earth is just fantastic. I love that. So.
I also think Watchmen by Damon Lindelof. That was a good one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but yeah, I honestly I have a difficult attention span when it comes to series, so I mostly just watch movies. So
yeah, same.
That's why I don't have that many to mention, but yeah, you had a bunch of good ones there. Yeah.
Yeah, Normal People, Chernobyl, and Big Little Lies are like the three I tend to go back to. Fuck Halo, get rid of that.
Did you watch Squid Game, Josh?
No.
Yeah. Was it just the hype or the subject or?
Just wasn't really interested in it. I know it was everywhere for a while. Even Mr. Beast did a video which got like 500 million views for it.
Yeah, it's what's funny is because I studied abroad in Korea for a semester, and I had a great time there and stuff. But
you've been everywhere. You have Ireland,
yeah. Korea. No, I've traveled a fair bit. I won't lie.
Azerbaijan, I wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't been to Azerbaijan. I haven't been to what's another really obscure one?
Kazakhstan.
Gabon. Yeah, no, no. But so I had friends there that were I was there for 6 months living there, but I had friends that were staying for like a full year. And when I had left, that was basically when Squid Game came out. And apparently everybody was telling me there that Squid Game merch was like selling like crazy there, which is hilarious because the show is a critique of capitalism. Like it's just so ironic.
That's funny. Not Click.
Yeah, Click is so bad.
Yeah, you got what's his name? Christopher Walken in it. He's like, are you happy or are you just excited to see me or something like that? And then he's got the remote in his pants and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
Hey,
the remote that. Okay, I see.
Yeah. How he bagged Kate Beckinsale will be one of life's biggest mysteries.
Yeah. Oh, yes, right. Yeah. Leon also said Gerwig's getting the bag.
Get the bag.
Yeah, I mean, like she's making a career for herself.
I just don't want her to be an industry plant now. You know.
I don't think she'd be the type to like take a Marvel franchise and like just direct that for 10 years. Like I think she's gonna miss doing independent stuff. You know, I hope she goes back to do like smaller budget stuff because I think like Lady Bird and Little Women, you could tell. I mean, Little Women was a little bit bigger budget, but you could really tell how much those two came from her heart. Like, you know, Lady Bird is basically her story, her coming of age story, and Little Women is like what she had wanted to do with this book that she grew up with, you know. So
Little Women is like one of the most joyous films I've ever seen.
Until it isn't, but
but no, but you know what I mean. It's just so full of life and like
it really feels authentic.
Should have won screenplay. But...
Oh, did it not?
No, I think Jojo Rabbit won over it or something.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did it?
I think it did. Now that you think,
look at Jojo Rabbit won over. Oh.
Yeah, that's not great.
I like Jojo Rabbit.
It's okay. I like it enough.
That shouldn't have won screenplay over Little Women. Did it win screenplay because they literally said a certain guy's name like 100 times from Guinness Book Record or something?
Yeah, I don't know. But Leon also says that I'm all for Greta doing some bigger budget stuff if she wants to. I feel like it'll be one for them, one for her kind of thing. Yeah, if she gets to do like if she does stuff like Narnia and then they give her a little bit more budget to kind of go further artistically than she would normally be allowed, totally for that. Like that's what happened with James Wan and Aquaman, and that's how we got Malignant. Is like he agreed to make them $1 billion twice for Aquaman, and then in exchange they gave him like 50 million, 70 million to make one of the weirdest mainstream horror movies in recent history. So
Malignant's great though.
I've got it back here somewhere. That's how
Malignant is so stupid, but it's like It's really fun. Like the last 30 minutes is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and
choreography in that is just cool.
Yeah, like the you know what's funny though is the character that is kind of the action character. He kind of looks like Morbius. It's kind of like a better version of Morbius.
Wish more. Whoa, Morbius wishes it was malignant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Matt says some of my favorite
miniseries. Devs. Yeah, Devs. Queen's Gambit as well. Love Queen's Gambit.
I thought Inside Man was a movie, like a Spike. Isn't that a Spike Lee movie? Pretty sure it is. I've seen like a few episodes of the Queen's Gambit, and I really liked it, but it was just the miniseries thing. I just couldn't finish it, but yeah, I really enjoyed what I saw of it as well. Yeah, and Anya Taylor-Joy is fantastic in that.
Yeah, it broke her out into mainstream, I think.
Well, I mean, she'd been in The Witch at that point. I'm trying to think what else.
She won a lot of awards from Queen's Gambit as one.
Yeah, that's true.
And it put her onto like things like The Northman and stuff like that.
I thought that was just because she wanted to work with Robert Eggers again, but
I'm not sure, but
yeah, definitely, yeah, and definitely like her. I don't know if she would have been cast in The Menu if she hadn't been in Queen's Gambit. Yeah,
I'm telling you this once, Marvel, leave her alone. I swear to fucking. I know she was already in New Mutants. That was a stinker, but like MCU, leave her alone, bro. Leave one person alone, please.
They want everybody. I saw
Jenna Ortega.
Well, they asked Lulu Wang to direct a Marvel movie. I'm like, why? Why do you want her to do it? Like, it was kind of the same thing with Chloe Zhao, but like, that is a strange.
Eternals pissed me off.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it, to be fair.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah. We're already getting Freddy Got Fingered references.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be more throughout the stream. I'm trying to think like what's my favorite quote in it. I do like the scuba gear one a lot. That one's great.
We'll have to talk to Leon after the stream because I think that would be really fun.
That would be fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Soap on a rope, you goddamn imbecile.
Scuba man.
Did you say goddamn imbecile twice? In the scene? Because like, he definitely says that when he says, "Get out of my goddamn scuba gear." Oh my god. Drew says the Blu-ray that we were talking about earlier, the one that he got was Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
I like Rocket Man. As far as like actual like unironic biopics, that's one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones, but it doesn't.
It's still got the problems that the whole genre has, but like I thought it was done pretty well. Like Taron Egerton, I think, is really good in it.
Elton John's a zany man, and the film is very zany. But
yeah, and it's like I like the whole therapy structure of the film, like where they kind of like have him in costume go into like a group therapy session. Like that's kind of cool.
I like that. Yeah,
but I think we can agree it's definitely one of the better ones, but like it's not amazing either. Yeah.
Beats Bohemian Rhapsody, so there's
definitely. Get out of my goddamn scuba gear. Watched Starship Troopers last night and had a fun, campy satire, but it's hardly subtle. Denise Richards is beautiful. I need to see Wild Things. I can agree that it's not subtle, but I kind of like that about it because the thing is, it's playing the satire so straight that when it came out,
satire.
Yeah, it's a total satire. Like it's
what?
So there's like two. Have you seen it, by the way? Or
no.
Okay. So there's kind of two narratives going on, and Paul Verhoeven has said this. The first narrative is about these people who join the military and fight for their country and have all these kind of antics throughout their journey and stuff like that. And the second story is about how these people are fascists. they're just colonizing the planet. There's this whole plot involving like bugs that are going to invade Earth and stuff, and they have to like go to that planet to like take out the bugs. But the bugs are basically like the way that they portray the bugs in the film is very similar to like how Germans treat, kind of portray Jewish people in their media, like around Nazi, the time of the Nazis. So it's like the way Verhoeven has described it is like the film is saying, oh yeah, these people are great, they fight for their country, blah blah blah, and also, by the way, they're fascists. I like that movie a lot, but I totally get it, like that not being subtle in it. It's not subtle at all. But at the same time, when it came out, people like especially like critics, a lot of them thought the film itself was fascist because that's how straight it plays the satire. It never like winks at you to be like, we're doing a satire. It just does it. but it's so thorough that it has to be a satire. But yeah.
The only Paul Verhoeven film I've technically seen is Benedetta. I watched like in 45 minutes and I just got so tired.
Oh,
so
really?
bored.
Oh, I love Benedetta. I thought that was a lot of fun.
It's a very horny movie. Very horny.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And that one's not like really a satire. It's more just like a character study about like.
I need to watch it again. Because I didn't finish it because I just found it quite exhausting. But...
I can understand. It's too long, I think. But it's like it's a good examination of like this person kind of abusing her power and stuff. It's
using your religion and power to get something you want, kind of thing.
Exactly. Like it's very similar to one of my favorite movies, actually, The Devils, which was like, do you know The Devils? Or
I heard some dude talk about it a long time ago, and he wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, it's it's the exact same thing. And The Devils is more like about a real historical event, whereas like Paul Verhoeven in Benedetta is like doing kind of pulp on like kind of pulp fiction, as they say. Like he's doing like kind of a riff on it. Yeah.
I haven't seen Wild Things either.
Oh yeah, we didn't comment on that. Yeah, I haven't seen that either, but I also want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. I've heard a lot of good things.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely
Pretty good fingered.
I think we're going to talk about that more than any other movie on this stream. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wild Things is so great. Oh, cool. Yeah, no. Everybody I know seems to recommend it. So, I love The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. As a Christian, it's a very emotional movie, but I don't really care about the other Chronicles of Narnia stories. See, I kind of thought that the religious overtones were a little bit just too heavy in that. But I get it if it's close to your heart and all that with what you believe. But the other ones are just like schlock. like the first one is at least like pretty much well crafted, minus some of the bad CGI. But yeah.
I haven't watched them since I was a kid, so I had no idea about the religious things.
I know. I hadn't watched it in like 10 years, and then I caught up with it. It was like back in November when I had
Tumnus, Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it totally blew me away how James McAvoy is Mr. Tumnus.
Yeah, right?
Fucking Split, man. Like, yeah.
Centaur, yeah.
Winslow says, "Yes, Leon, I saw it in Letterboxd. You wrote a review for it. I'll read once. I'll read once I've seen the film. What is that about? Freddy got fingered, or
don't look up.
I don't know.
Don't look up.
Don't look up. Right? Yeah. I'll have to follow you on Letterboxd, Winslow. I don't know if I do, but yeah, maybe you drop that. I don't know. We maybe in the comment section or something. I can go follow you after the stream or something. View what Drew says. What's your favorite movie performance in a music biopic? Mine is Rami Malek as Freddy.
Rami Malek?
Yeah, I don't like that performance very much. I understand it, and I totally get people being.
I'm Freddie fucking Mercury.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm not a big fan of the performance. I think it's kind of hammy and not very good. But I think some of it too comes down to like the script and the direction are just nothing. Like he just wasn't given anything to work with. So as far as music biopics, I'm gonna exclude John C. Reilly and Walk Hard because that's not technically a real music biopic. He's just making fun of it because that would be my answer otherwise. But I'll say Taron Egerton and Rocket Man. I think he's really good as
one of my pet peeves is I really hate it when people say that Rami Malek did a good fucking job in that movie. He didn't. He sucked.
Yeah, I don't know if he sucks, but he's not Freddie Mercury. Like he's nowhere. But again, some of that's just the script, right? Because he's nowhere near vulgar enough to be Freddie Mercury. Have you seen that clip of Freddie Mercury like at a concert, like telling the entire audience to go fuck themselves?
Yeah,
like,
he did a lot of things. His life wasn't PG-13; it was R-rated.
It was hard R. Yeah,
he was with hookers. He did drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the only thing they do in this film is have one little like a table fucking miles away with a little white powder on it, and you could barely tell it was a white powder because it's Disney. Like fuck, like Sacha Baron.
It is a Disney film.
Sacha Baron Cohen. Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to play him in a film, right?
That would have been a lot better. I think that would have worked really well. And he also.
And instead, we just got him standing in the rain going, "I need to do more with my life."
Like, I'm imagining him just doing like Ollie G for his Freddie Mercury performance.
Don't get me started on the fact that it won.
He just comes on stage and goes, "Represent West Side." Like,
don't get me started on the fact that it won Best Editing and Sound Mixing. Like, it's funny because they couldn't even tell. They've literally had to combine them both now because no one could tell what
right. So as far as the editing one, okay. So I have a theory about this, about why it won Best Editing. So because a bunch of new revelations about Bryan Singer, the director, came out in post-production, a lot of people left production, and so the guy who won Best Editing was the guy who had to come in and basically pick up the pieces and put it all back together. Now, I don't think he did a good job. Like, it's a terribly edited movie, but I think that they were just giving it to him because he had to like pick up all those pieces. I don't know if you agree or know this story.
I strongly disagree. It's 2018 was like the worst Oscars year, I think.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Green Book win Best Picture. Fucking Green Book.
Yeah, I was especially with
Roma.
Black Klansman was the same year, and that's
Roma.
Yeah, no, Green Book winning over Black Klansman is like really infuriating to me.
Yeah, it was sin on earth. I'm just looking what else happened. Black Panther winning score over Beale Street. Never get over that.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look now. Come on, IMDb, load, please. Green Book won Best Picture over Roma and The Favourite. And The Stars.
Oh, right, The Favourite was that year.
Rami Malek won over both Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman won, that was good. Charlie, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Screenplay, Green Book, and not First Reformed or The Favourite.
Oh, First Reformed. Did First Reformed at least get a nomination?
Yes, it did, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah.
But it lost to Driving Miss Daisy in reverse.
Yeah. I love Spike Lee's quote about how anytime somebody's driving somebody, I lose.
That's funny, actually. Yeah, it fucking Bohemian Rhapsody lost to Bohemian Rhapsody won against The Favourite, Black Klansman, Vice, and Green Book. Green Book editing's just like you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Black Panther.
That's a sign of good editing, right? Is if you don't notice it, like it's well put together. Maybe it doesn't deserve to win Best Editing because it's not like innovative or anything, but at least it's good.
Sound should have gone to either Roma or First Man, because the sound in the sound in Roma is literally most of the film. Like the film, the whole crux of that is like the surrounding sounds of
like the city.
The city of Mexico and all of that. You can tell that it's really lived in. But what can you tell with Bohemian Rhapsody? Oh, they did like a tape deck thing, like that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Leon says the title of the film has no bearing on anything that goes on. It's hilarious. I think this has to be about Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah,
everything's about Freddy Got Fingered.
Literally, it's like that plot. Like again, it's like barely in the movie at all. Like even like once they bring it up at 51 minutes in, it's like it doesn't become like the central plot of the movie. It's like a couple scenes, and then it's like and they just get back to the nonsense. It's so good. It's so good. Skateboarding to the bus station so his parents can give him a car.
Oh yes.
Yep. I love how when he gets there, he's like, they actually bought the bus ticket for him, which is probably got to be like decently expensive, like not cheap. But then they're like, hey, here's the car here at the bus station. It's like, why did you actually buy the ticket? Why didn't you just say you were going to buy the ticket?
That movie makes no sense to me, but it's really funny. It's so funny.
Winslow says Double Indemnity is one of the best noirs. Big Heat is another favorite of mine. Cool. I want to see Big Heat as well, but yeah, Double Indemnity is it's a really easy movie to like kind of just sink into and enjoy. Is it Barbara Stanwyck? I think she's the femme fatale in it. She does a great job. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. And Leon is speaking positively about Kiss Me Deadly, which is the other one I recommended while you were gone. Robert Aldrich, that's right. Yeah. Or no, wait, yeah, he wasn't saying much about it, but yeah. No, yeah, it's Leon. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, it has kind of I think Lost Highway was inspired by it a little bit. Just like some of the imagery by the end is really like Lynchian. I think you'd get a lot out of it if you haven't seen it. He also says it's from like 2019. It's a rom-com that has a reveal that's so unbelievably hilarious. I can't get over. What is this that we were talking about?
I think Last Christmas, was it?
Oh, yeah, probably last. Does it have a weird twist in that? Or because he also says,
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually. You might hate it, but you won't be bored. Okay, that's the good kind of dislike, you know. Sometimes the worst thing a movie can be is just boring, you know.
Are you sure he's not talking about The Idol?
I mean, does The Idol have a crazy twist, or is it? It sounds like The Idol's kind of boring, but
The Idol is like one of the most pointless things that God has given us. It is. It's weird. I tuned in because The Weeknd, Susanna Sun,
That's right,
Moses Sumney, and
yeah.
Troye Sivan.
Mm-hmm.
I love those four. Moses Sumney, one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
His voice is like an angel. And they literally say he's a black angel.
That's...
While he's rubbing on somebody while singing.
Okay.
And it's like, thank you.
You mentioned Susanna Sun, who's obviously in Red Rocket. Did you know that Sean Baker basically, I mean, he does this with a lot of actors, but he basically just discovered her like randomly. Like they both went to see a movie at the same theater, and he saw her in the lobby and is like, here's my contact info. I might want you for a movie at some point. And
Who
then
did?
Susanna Sun, Sean Baker gave Susanna Sun his information. Yeah, he just does this.
Oh, I love her. She's so good.
She's like a revelation in that movie. Like she's fantastic. But
I find it weird how she always plays 17-year-olds, even though she's like 26.
I know. Does she play a 17-year-old in The Idol?
Yes.
Oh no. Oh. Well, hopefully she'll like grow out of those.
And it's bad because they make her dress very scantily clad as well. It's
right.
Like,
yeah. 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 Leon says, I dig some early Sam Fuller noirs like Underworld USA, The Crimson Kimono. Okay, I'll have to check those. I've heard of Sam Fuller, but I don't know if I know those movies, but I'll have to check that out. And he also says hi to your dad.
Yeah, that's an interesting fellow. Have you seen his Letterboxd?
I have.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if I've seen much recently. I know he's logged like The Dark Knight and something else.
Yeah, let me have a look because I barely know what the guy's doing on there. If I'm honest with you, he said to me, "Oh, I've made a account on that thing you use," and I was like, "What thing?" Oh, he reviewed The Covenant.
Guy Ritchie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ready? He's not a Ritchie fan. He's made some proper doozies. However, this is completely different. One of his better ones, although it has a Guy Ritchie moment in it, which I thought, enjoyed it. He gave it a 2.5.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a more positive review than I would expect for a 2.5. But okay.
What the fuck is this? First Blood. A bully boy copper gets his comeuppance. What a film.
Oh, I did see that one. That was another. I was like, yeah. What did he rate it?
5. And then
Nice.
Die Hard. Saw this in the flicks when it came out. The hamsters, big ones. He's talking about like it's the nuts, basically.
Right. Yeah, totally. That's great. I love your dad's account. Yeah, it is really funny. I forgot about the First Blood one. That made me laugh.
Fear of the Invisible Man. Started watching this film. Mastered 10 minutes. Effects while awful as is the acting. Would rather watch Teletubbies. He's done like 12 reviews and they've all been weird.
Okay.
He hasn't even seen Transformers. Yeah, he reviewed it. Haven't seen it, won't see it. I should imagine it's a pile of shit like the others.
Have I ever done that where I've thought about doing that before, like as a joke, but I feel like it's kind of a played out and done. Like I don't know if I'd make that if I just like log a movie I haven't seen to just be like, didn't watch this, think it's gonna be bad or whatever. Yeah.
Do you know what's funny, right? He saw Black Demon, this film with a shark.
Yeah.
Right? That thing.
Oh
Black
God.
Demon
Okay. Is it an asylum movie? That looks like an asylum movie.
I don't know. You know what the funny thing is? He reviewed something called Black Demon, which is a Russian film nobody has seen.
Oh,
he thought it was that one.
The shark movie, but he actually just reviewed a similar.
Yeah, he reviewed this.
Oh wow!
And I said to him, "Dad, you realize you've reviewed something no one has fucking seen, right?"
That's actually great. Leon says that it bumps me out that Dear Albert Hansen is shot from probably my favorite working cinematographer, Brandon Trost. He was a filmography, but he's directed like some of the most insane looking films I've ever seen. I'm gonna look him up because I actually am struggling to think of ones he's done. But that's interesting because I don't often think of like mid movies as having good cinematography.
I think my favorite cinematographer is either Roger Deakins.
That's fair. Okay.
Emmanuel Lubezki is.
Leon, I'm looking at his filmography, Brandon Trost. Some of these aren't too bad. I don't like. I really like Popstar.
American Pickle.
I haven't seen that actually.
That one's fine.
Okay.
That one's fun. He shot Bros. He shot Sonic 2.
I mean, I don't love The Interview. But the thing is, as a political science major, I do get a kick out of some of it. It's
Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I know him.
Okay. Tar is a hilarious dark film, but don't expect a full-blown comedy. I mean, I don't think I would. Like the trailer doesn't market it that way, so but it does seem very funny for sure.
I think it's quite funny.
Tar says.
Tar.
Lydia Tar is in the chat. This is what happens when we get like 2 hours in. Leon said, I almost did it again. I'm like Pete today. Leon says, Tar definitely has nothing but distaste for his protagonist, and I kind of adore how mean-spirited it is. I just love mean-spiritedness in comedies. Like, I just think that's a really funny thing. It's kind of like we were talking about The Menu earlier. Like, that was my favorite. That was why I found it really funny, is because of how, like, mean it is to some of those rich characters.
Yeah, what I find funny about Tar, though, is it's like Todd Field even hates Tar, and it's like, it's kind of like he's clapping at her downfall, and I think that's kind of something unique for movies of that cancel culture kind of feel to it. And Cate Blanchett kills it. Like her performance is unbelievable. Like the mannerisms she has, she literally tells a kid that she will hunt her down if she.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It's very funny, and she's just standing there straight face throughout half, and she's like,
yeah,
and then just walks off.
Leon says 350 million for a blockbuster is fucking nuts. I would say yes, unless it's Avatar, Like Avatar, I believe cost that. Like, you know, you for all the things you can say about like simplicity of the story and the Avatar movies, like especially the second one, I was like, I can see every dollar on the screen. Like this is a gorgeous film. But for like Indiana Jones, $350 million.
That movie looks hideous.
And like they're not even doing like stunts. Like they're, you know, it's mostly just CG stuff. Like, I don't know. I can't really get behind that, but
production budget 300 million, but it's apparently 350.
Yeah.
And it's only made 0.4 times its production budget so far.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah. Jason says, I want to like Dear Evan Hansen because the music is good, but the main character is too sad of a character to enjoy on screen. Very unsatisfying ending as well. Yeah, it kind of sounds like what you were saying as well, Josh. Yeah. Leon pointed out the static. I think we got it solved though. I haven't heard it in a long time. So
yeah, my microphone's on its way out.
No worries.
When I get paid for this month, I'll probably get a new one. Probably get the same one as Leon, maybe Audio Technica or something, because this one's trash. I bought it off my brother. And it's a Blue Yeti as well, and they're usually pretty good, but when I record videos, it goes quiet all of a sudden, and it really pisses me off, especially when I'm doing voiceover. It sounds normal, then it just goes.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed that much in your videos. They seem, I mean, a lot of them are like video essay style where you can't see you. So like, you know, I just don't notice it that much anyway, but yeah.
I'm having this stage with my channel now where I'm just uploading whatever the fuck I want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I love your videos lately. Like it's like that's you can tell. Like you can tell you actually care about the shit you're talking about. Whereas like, you know, sometimes I felt this about, you know, certain reviews I've done too, where like you don't care, you didn't even care that much to go see the movie. So when you did, and you're just like so unenthusiastic, you know, about in the review, and it's like you don't want that. You need to bring like the passion to it, at least, you know, for breaking something down. Like I didn't love Asteroid City recently. I thought it was decent, but I felt like I was, you know, like I could talk about it in a way that interested me, if that makes any sense. So
I'm like the villain of the community at this point because I just hate on everything people likes, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm uploading what I want to upload now. Like yesterday, I uploaded a recent buy video, which I haven't done for about a year and a half, and I was kind of cracking jokes throughout the whole thing, because I kind of wanted to go for like a moist critical style.
Oh, nice.
It makes me laugh. And I'm just uploading random content at this point. I might have to change my name though because YouTube SEO doesn't like my name because there's 1,000 of them. Oh, sure, yeah. I know that was the thing when I was choosing my name. I was like, I got to pick something that nobody else has. I guarantee you, nobody has Horsetooth Cinema. Because I have a second channel which is an account name which I want to use, but I have to stick with this one for now for certain things. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. We have somebody new in the chat. I haven't seen them in a minute. Frags. I almost said Frogs Gaming. Frags Gaming. That would be. I thought you were gonna say like Leon's in the wings or something. We got someone in the wings. Oh no. Oh, I was like, yeah. Well, yeah, and good evening, Mr. Frogs. No, Mr. Frags. Frogs. Leon's got a good question here. Have any of you guys bought anything from the video Vinegar Syndrome? Video Syndrome, yeah. Video Syndrome. I have not. Is it still going on? I'll probably check and see if it is, because if it is, I kind of want to get the Showgirls 4K because I've talked to him on here. I love Showgirls, but the transfer on the MGM Blu-ray is like bad. It's like really glossy, like the colors, like they pop, but they pop in like a kind of a gross way. Like if you look at like a cupcake with like artificial frosting, that's what it looks like. It's a weird analogy, but it just looks really off and not good.
I feel like that's just the studio who didn't care about the transfer of the movie, whereas like Vinegar Syndrome cares about these cult films. So I'm assuming the transfer is going to be really good.
I'm grabbing a couple movies.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm grabbing a couple of movies I bought recently.
Oh yeah, cool. No worries. Yeah, totally.
I bought literally the last couple of days.
Okay. So yeah, I
did
like
buy.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I did buy a record as well, but there's no point showing that because no one cares. But it's Tyler the Creator. It's one which got him banned from the UK.
Oh.
Like that album actually got him banned from the UK from performing here for like a year and a half because of some of the lyrics. I'll tell you some of the lyrics after.
But how can you get banned from a country for saying stuff? Like that seems like unless you're like inciting violence, that seems odd. But
that album kind of does that, but he literally says at the start of one of the songs, he's like, "Listen to what I fucking say right now, boys. This is fiction. It's not fucking fact. Don't do what I say."
Oh,
and that's literally what he says.
And then he like tells people to go. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'll tell you some after, but I got Top Gun Maverick.
Nice.
My parents were on this like hotcakes. They literally watched it straight away.
It's such a parent movie. It's such a dad movie.
They've seen it I think they've seen it 5 times.
I know, yeah.
They were on that like fly with shit, They were on that.
I don't think my dad's seen it yet.
Pulp Fiction.
He will watch it like 5 times though. Pulp Fiction is another. I mean, it's great, but it's also a dad.
I just rewatched it before the stream, and it's so funny though.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if it's meant to be. It just is.
Oh, it's definitely meant to be funny. Like, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino says certain words he shouldn't say. But
oh yeah, he does. Oh my god, have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn? Okay, so
I want to.
How much you know about it, but it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, but Quentin Tarantino wrote the script, and he did it. I think sometime it was either between Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction or after Pulp Fiction. It was one of those. So pretty early in his career, but it's like easily his worst script. Like it's so lame. Like the characters they're kind of fun to hang out with. Like I kind of get it, but like he also acts in the movie, and he is the biggest like slimy sleazeball I've ever seen in a movie in a long time, and I was really annoyed by his presence in it. But I'd be curious to see what you think about that movie when you check it out.
Virgin Suicides.
Nice.
Sofia Coppola, so I wanted to watch it, and
nice.
Kirsten Dunst is in it. I've heard it's great. So,
but I really liked the 20 minutes that I saw of it. Yeah.
For 20 minutes, it'll probably be very depressing.
I was just not in the mood for it that day. I was like, this is going to be really depressing. Like,
and then because it was in the offer as part of it, I got Babylon. Can't say I'm a fan of this movie, but I'm gonna rewatch it tomorrow. Nice. In the cinema room downstairs, 75-inch TV, Dolby Atmos sound down there.
So these days, just so I can save money, I don't go out. I don't usually go see a film in theaters more than once, even if I really like it. I saw Babylon twice, and it is 3 hours and 10 minutes. I had so much fun with it. I
saw Avatar twice in the span of a month, if you know what I mean.
From like when it came to Disney Plus? Or?
No, because it showed in Babylon, didn't it? Avatar.
Oh, right. Went right over my head.
Yeah. You've seen it twice.
Babylon? Yeah.
And I said I've seen Avatar twice in the span of that month.
No, I know, yeah. I like I said, just went right over my head.
Just went over your head, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that was a very I liked it first time, but second time I was just really exhausted with it.
I mean, I can see that. I was to be fair, the second time I saw it, I was showing my fiance because she hadn't seen it yet, and I was also I was having a lot of fun like interacting with her while she's watching it, like especially in the opening scene when all those gags happen, like the guy who gets the golden shower and stuff like that, like all this crazy stuff is happening. I just was like, I was more interested in Renee's reaction than I was in watching the movie because I'd already seen it. But
the first hour of that film is like top tier Chazelle, top tier of that year, and then after that, it just dies down.
You know, and I know this is controversial, but I think it's my favorite Chazelle movie. Like, I really think it's great.
Whiplash is his best.
That's fair. Whiplash is much more cohesive. Like, it works much better in general than Babylon does. But I'm just so drawn to Babylon in a way that I'm not really to Whiplash. But yeah.
But Margot Robbie's great. She could have got a nomination. Honestly, she could have got an Oscar nom. The score should have won.
Easily should have won. Yeah.
Discount Cola Hans fucking Zimmer won over it.
Yeah.
Just hearing that is triggering me.
Yeah. I didn't even hate the movie. I actually liked the movie enough, but the score was kind of...
The movie's like fine at most.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just destined to be like Edward Cheeseburger is like, I want Oscar. I want Oscar. Give me an Oscar, please.
To be fair, Josh, I do feel like, because this was the first time that a German filmmaker was able to adapt All Quiet on the Western Front. So I definitely could feel the passion in that, in the film. I didn't feel like he was just doing it for money or anything.
It felt like that to me. Like he just wanted an Oscar, but
I understand that. I mean, it did win a shocking number of Oscars. I was like, what? But
yeah, Leon didn't like it either.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'll have to give The Big Short a shot. I just think McKay is super smug, which really annoys me. He is super smug, but it's like the one time where the smugness didn't make me want to tear my hair out, basically.
He is an ass. I go back to the other guys. I want another guys too.
The Other Guys is so good. It's literally one of my favorite buddy cop movies. Oh, it's so much fun.
If I were a lion and you were a tuna, I would swim out the ocean and freaking eat you. I bet I'd bang your tuna girlfriend. I remember a lot of those quotes.
One of my favorite lines is
you shot Derek Jeter.
Yeah. But one of my favorite lines is when they're in the ballet studio and Mark Wahlberg does the dance, and Will Ferrell's like, "You learned to dance like that sarcastically?"
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah.
Peacocks can fly.
They can. If they got a running start, they can fly a little bit.
I love the bit when he gets out of the car and he's like, even the sound. He's like, even your farts are feminine. You walk out and it's like
the way you pee or whatever. Yeah.
My dad loved that film. He found it so fun.
It's great. Multiverse is definitely a 70% Marvel film, 30% Raimi film. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. That's a good percentage, actually, to sum it up. Yeah. Avi Arad, is that how you pronounce it? Force Venom into Spidey 3. It's so lame. Somebody. Of course he did. Okay. Yeah. I don't even hate the Venom stuff in it. I think people make that movie out to be worse than it is. The Venom stuff isn't good because it doesn't have any weight, but it's not terrible.
That movie's not the worst thing in the world. I actually have a lot of fun
with
it.
I like the movie a lot.
With him.
Yeah. I think it's really good. I like Spidey 3, but it definitely feels like a product of your halves. Definitely does.
Like most Marvel movies, products.
This was before they were as much of
before they were very franchise.
Yeah, even 3 does feel mostly like you were talking Leon, you were saying 70-30 for Multiverse of Madness. I feel like Spider-Man 3 is still 70% Sam Raimi, 30% the studio. It's kind of a mess, but it's mostly still the filmmaker. Yeah, Prince of Darkness is amazing. Yeah, we were talking about that. I love that movie. And then Blowout. Yeah, I might rewatch Blowout tonight, to be honest. Yeah, it's. I think you would like this a lot, Josh. Actually, it's a Criterion label as well. Yeah. Abel is so great. Give some of his older work, other work, a shot, Josh. Yeah, I would say stay clear of anything post 1995 for a while. Just watch his 80s, his 80s stuff in particular. Yeah, and maybe avoid his very early stuff too. I wouldn't watch the Driller Killer as one of your first ones. That's a video nasty, and it's like a super aggressive, very kind of annoying gore movie. But it's kind of brilliant also. But it's not one you should watch first. I'll say that. Ferrara, not okay. Yeah.
That's The Weeknd.
The Weeknd,
here's the thing. I loved The Weeknd before the show. His music's really good. Like House of Balloons. That's probably one of his best projects, and it was his first project. He got in the scene, right, because of Drake. Drake heard him and posted on a forum, on a Canadian forum, because they're both Canadian.
Right.
And that's how he got his start. He featured on a Drake song, and then he got picked up by a label, and then made House of Balloons, and then he made the trilogy, which is House of Balloons. Then you got 2 others, which I've forgotten the names of them.
Yeah.
And then he's where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
And where he is now is in a bad spot because he met Sam Levinson and made this piece of shit. So, I feel sorry.
I heard Leon was telling me on our last stream that the idol wasn't originally going to be Sam Levinson's vehicle. It was going to be like,
no, it wasn't.
It was the woman who directed
Amy Simons, yeah. Amy Simons.
Which I think would have.
Oh yeah, Thursday and Echoes of Silence. Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Yeah,
I've got them on CD actually. They're quite hard to find. But... Oh yeah, they're over here actually. Hold on. So I've got Kissland, which is one of his first ones, and then I've also got the trilogy, which is
nice.
hard to get.
Gotcha.
But
there you go.
House of Balloons is his best project, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not like super familiar with The Weeknd. I mean, I obviously know who they are, but I haven't checked out that much of their stuff.
Because Amy Simons is a really good storyteller and a really good director.
Yeah.
So it's a shame to see that her work was scrapped in favor of.
Yeah.
Oh, we hate women. Let's just abuse a pop star. Because,
right. Yeah.
Because we just don't like them.
Yeah. Leon also says, I know earlier that I mentioned Don't Look Up. Review might be one of my favorite opening paragraphs of mine, but my Midnight in Paris one might have my favorite closer one I've written. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, that was a good review, Leon. I just read it.
Oh, here we go. He posted it. Hope the rest of Alan's filmography is better than this. Maybe it's just the films that he made before his daughter wife was born are the good ones. Who knows? Shit. Yep. That's good. That's good. Again, I might have mentioned this when we were talking about A Rainy Day in New York earlier, but he also like kind of defends Roman Polanski in that movie a little bit. Like he's just such a scumbag. Like, I don't know. Oh, I this is one of my favorite details in the movie about the restaurant at Freddy Got Fingered is just called Fancy Restaurant.
Yeah. It's very funny that.
Get out and get a job, you bum. Oh yeah, the backwards man. Yeah, God, there are so many details that I've just forgotten. It's just like a sensory overload of weird details. So good. There's just so much.
So much.
Oh, it is pronounced. Oh, this is about Jonathan.
Demi.
Yeah, it is pronounced Demi. Okay, never mind. Yeah,
Demi.
I would have thought it would be like a French thing, like Dem, but no, Demi. Okay, cool. Stop Making Sense is a Talking Heads concert film. Yeah, that's what I thought, and I've seen clips from it, and it looks really cool. But he says it's one of the most creative films I've ever seen. It's incredible. Cool, awesome. I'll have to definitely check that out. Yeah, that project sucks. Well, Leon, we're both on the Ryan Reynolds hate train for sure. Yeah, we discussed that in length when you came on. Yep. Are you on this train as well, Josh? Or
what train?
The Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, I don't like the guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's been movies that I've liked that he's in, but
I find his banter between him and his wife better than his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing his banter on Twitter where it's like happy anniversary and it's just a picture of him and then his wife is like cut off side. Stuff like that. Just
well, and she's like So she was in The Shallows, and she was pretty good in that, even though she's not given a ton of like character stuff to do. But she was in another movie which like Paul Feig directed, the guy who did Ghostbusters.
Oh, Simple Favor, yeah.
Yeah, and I heard she was like really good in that, but I haven't seen it.
That movie's not great. I think it tries too hard to be like the next Bongo in a sense, but tries.
That's what I heard, is that it was doing like a very clear Gone Girl ripoff. Yeah.
But like Gone Girl, if it was like that California Girls music video by Katy Perry.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't mind the idea of like, because for me, Gone Girl is like a 5-star movie. Like, I love Gone Girl.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but so the idea of just taking that premise and then doing something like kind of cheesy or like kind of schlocky with it sounds fun. I don't know. I kind of like the premise. Josh, I'll send my review to you. Sean Levy making the holy trifecta of garbage: Deadpool 3, Free Guy, and The Adam Project. That's kind of what it seems like he's doing. Like, he wants to make this Ryan Reynolds trilogy of just like the worst shit ever. Didn't he also direct like the Night at the Museum movies? I feel like that was him.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I don't hate those. At least the first one, anyway. I don't hate. I remember really liking it as a kid, but yeah. I know it's hard to judge a film that isn't out, but come on, Sean Levy. Yep, for the most part.
I don't know why they chose him to do it. Is it because he's butt buddies with Ryan? Is that why?
I think I just think they want to collab a bunch. Yeah. The Idol is my favorite miniseries. Back to Jason's question. Yes, definitely. We got Drew saying, "Have you seen Love and Mercy starring John Cusack and Paul Dano?" I have not.
No, that's about Brian Ferry from, I think, Beach Boys, I believe, or Brian Ferry? No, Brian something from.
Have you seen just called Love and Mercy? Okay. Oh, 2014. Yeah, it's about the Beach Boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have not seen that. I mean, I like both of those actors though. Cusack is one of those actors. He's kind of like I don't know, kind of like John Travolta, who like he hasn't been in anything good in a really long time, but he can bring the goods when he needs to.
He can bring the goods, yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. I love The Idol. Sam Levinson's so smart and genius.
Brian Wilson.
I get the energy from The Idol. Like, Sam Levinson thinks he's Paul Verhoeven, like Showgirls or that kind of thing. But like, he just doesn't have any of the.
Spoiler alert! You fucking ain't.
Yeah.
Tell you that much.
Like, don't watch Jackson. It's not the brain rot. A friend of mine on Letterboxd has a tag that he uses, and he uses it for like a lot of movies, called Brain Flattener. It's like movies that will decrease your IQ, basically. Christopher Walken stream. Yeah, stream. It'd be fun. I would love to get Christopher Walken on my stream. I think we would have a fantastic time. I was drinking a beer earlier.
Hey, Jackson! How you doing? Right.
You Dr. Walken. I think I have to have him on, and we would probably be doing drugs harder than beer. But no. Funny boner joke from the masterpiece that is known as Click.
Yep. There's a lot of boner jokes in that. They literally have a dog humping a toy duck for most of it. That's the development.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. Isn't there a boner joke on Uncut Gems? I feel like
there's a lot of them in that.
Yeah. Because it's so funny, because it takes a lot of the same humor from Adam Sandler stuff, but just it's like, what if this was good? Like, what if it's like good stuff?
I love the bit in Uncut Gems when she's like, "Oh, I don't feel well," and then it zooms in on the smoothie, and he's like, "You want to get a fucking smoothie?"
Yeah.
And then he's just talking to the people on the left, and he's like, "See what I have to deal with?" Fucking crazy.
Okay, that movie also stars. Maybe not stars, but it has Kevin Garnett in it. I don't know if I mentioned this before, Kevin Garnett is my favorite basketball player, maybe of all time. Like he was like, as a kid, he was like my hero growing up. I was like always cheering for his teams, not because of like whoever he was playing for. Like I'm not a Celtics fan, but just like I just loved his way of playing. And he also is like the biggest trash talker ever. And he's actually really good in Uncut Gems. Like like he does what the performance needs for sure. But I was going to mention Aquaman and Malignant are great examples of that. Yeah, like the one for them, one for me. Yep. I'm trying to think of another example of that.
Oh, KG.
Yeah, KG.
He's like KG.
Yeah, KG.
Let me get that ring for you. Let me do these earpieces. I ain't got time, buddy. I ain't got.
Oh yeah.
There's a shot in Uncut Gems which I think is just like insane. It's when it zooms in Damani, and Damani's like nodding, and then it just circles around him, and he's like that for like 10 seconds. Like, Damani is great. I love Lakeith Stanfield. So.
Nice. Malignant goes so hard. It's insane. A genuine all-timer for me. Yep. I don't know if it's an all-timer for me, but it's very good, and I think it is in my top 10 of the year that it came out. It was I liked it a lot. I actually didn't catch up with it though until last year. So that I guess it came out the year previously. I just caught that on streaming randomly once, and I was like, how did I not go to see this last year? But yeah. Malignant and After Sun are probably tied for my favorites of the decade. That's great. As you're saying, those are two very different movies.
Yeah, don't mention After Sun in front of me. I'll go on for hours.
Inside Man is a great miniseries with David Tennant, well worth the watch. Does it have anything to do with the Spike Lee film or anything, or is it just like a totally different?
No, it's British, so.
Oh, okay. That sounds very different then. All right. Dude, I can't stand Marvel sucking up indie directors and forcing them into the Marvel machine. That's happened. So, I mean, in some ways that happened with the Russo brothers because they started out on stuff like Community, right? And yeah, the stuff they've done since Marvel has been just abysmal. Like The Gray Man was awful.
Cherry is the worst thing they've done.
I haven't seen that, but
Well, The Gray Man's just kind of hideous. But,
oh my god.
Cherry. It's first off, it's 2 hours and 32 minutes. Why? The second half. It's like 3 acts, right? So the first act is him, sort of like developing his need to join the army. Second act, joining the army. What it's like during the army. Third act, robbing banks, right? And downfall from it. Then
it's almost like a Full Metal Jacket kind of.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Literally, it's edgy to be edgy. Like he says the F word every line. It's like Sam Levinson. It's like it's to get all the little man children to go. Oh, he said fuck.
Yeah. Well, kind of talking about this, Marvel sucking up independent directors. Like, I was very happy last year when Scott Derrickson made Black Phone because he had been at kind of in the Marvel machine, with Doctor Strange and stuff like that. And he did, I don't mind the first Doctor Strange movie or anything, but like I was really worried that like when he would go back to his independent stuff, he would not be the same filmmaker. And he actually like I didn't love the Black Phone, but it was a pretty surprisingly good like studio horror film, I thought. Did you see that or?
Yeah,
it was okay.
I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, definitely.
The whole supernatural element to it though was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that made it feel to me like kind of like a Stephen King story, but like one of the stupider ones that like goes way too hard with the literal like supernatural stuff and not enough on the sort of character stuff. It's okay though. Yeah, it was like pretty well directed though. Leon says he says a slur that begins with an R in the scuba scene. Yeah, he does. That was one of the things in the movie where I'm like, I don't think this is like satirical. I think at the time people just said that word. But yeah, Rocket Man is cool. Yep, really solid for sure. I like it a lot. Well, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not like an amazing movie, I think, but it's fun. It's one of my favorite pieces of schlock ever made. Is this Wild Things, or because that's what you say in the next comment? Yeah,
we lose track with these comments sometimes, don't we?
It sounds like really cool, like pulp. Like it seems like one of those movies that was drawn up for people to just watch it and go like, "Wow, these women are hot," but like the movie's actually doing something pretty interesting. So yeah, no, it sounds cool. Josh's reaction to Drew's comment.
Yeah, the
Bohemian Rhapsody one. Yeah.
Just don't. No. I fucking hate that film so much.
Okay, it's my favorite as well, but I can you really count it? Because it's like it's a fake biopic. It's not a real thing.
Just Kino.
Kino. I know Kino Lorber. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I should know this. Leon will probably put it in the chat, but I couldn't disagree more. Rami Malek gave one of the best performances I've ever seen. I just don't think he's really being Freddie Mercury. Like he doesn't feel like it feels like an imitation and not like
cinema
becoming the character. You know, I don't know. It's and again, just because it felt like sanitized in terms of the aspects of his life that they didn't, go over. The way that they handled the thing where he got HIV was like really
disrespectful
because they basically they changed the timeline solely that they can dramatize it in the movie and not that wasn't a big deal in his life because he didn't the Live Aid concert was because he didn't know he had HIV at the time.
No. And then they just kind of I've got AIDS, and then they're it's like, let's do one last show. Well, you didn't tell them until years after.
Yeah. And, I just that whole movie just made me feel kind of gross.
I find it funny as well the way that he finds out it's just one little blood dot on a tissue, one little blood dot.
Right, yeah.
It's like, and then when he's walking in the corridor and the dude goes, "Ayo."
Right, yeah. After he's diagnosed, yeah.
Like, "Ayo," and then he just walks off. It's so cheesy.
Yeah. Spike Lee's quote about Green Book not being his cup of tea is my favorite thing. Yeah, and I think he literally said that because it was a British reporter that was interviewing him. He's like, "It's not my cup of tea."
That sounds like something Spike Lee would say.
Oh yeah. Spike Lee's funny. Just in interviews.
Do you see his Wario cosplay or his Waluigi cosplay at the Oscars?
Absolutely.
Wow, Walu Spike Lee.
We spoke about it in the chat, Jackson, but oh my god, the Institute scene with the Texas. Okay, you know the scene in Freddy Got Fingered where I don't want to say what the Institute is on stream, but where they go to that place and all the kids are watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I wasn't paying too much attention to that because
my friend, I was watching it with my friend Cole, and he's a huge fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he didn't know that's what it was either at first. And I was like, "That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre."
I haven't seen Texas Chainsaw yet.
No, I figured you wouldn't have got it because you probably did because I know you haven't seen it. Yeah, but Leon just keeps bringing Freddy up. Last Christmas. There is a twist in the idol, but it's so bad.
Oh, it is. It's
Is the twist that Sam Levinson is doing this whole thing without any irony whatsoever? I feel like that's not a twist though.
There's a twist which just pissed me off as well. It's to do with there's many twists, there's many things that happen. And one of them's to do with Troye Sivan, what they did to him.
Oh, okay.
Just no. Moses Sumney does nothing. except sit there shirtless for the whole thing, and it's like, I love his voice, man. Like, every time I heard him sing, that was the best part of it. There's one scene in, I think, episode 2? I've lost count, where they're sitting by a piano. I think that scene is good. That's the only good scene in this entire 5-episode show. And it lasts like 3.5 minutes.
Oh. Well, he had to work really hard for those 3.5 minutes, Josh. He had to like actually be a good director for a second.
We didn't. We didn't. He didn't direct shit.
No.
The Weeknd did.
Like, God, ballsy move, Josh.
Did I?
Did you? I don't know if you did. I don't remember. I feel like that would have stuck out. So I don't remember that.
All right, Sam Levinson is Hades.
So he is a god, right? You know, there you go.
Yeah, but gotta be Underworld.
A Guy Ritchie moment is a great quote. What's that?
That's my dad's. That's my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Guy Ritchie.
He's wondering what your dad's letterboxd is now.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. I'll just skip those. I reviewed one film. What?
I just got sent this by Leon. Hold on.
Oh my god! It looks so goofy in The Idol. Like, oh. Joker Folly Adieu. My review is wow. Joker 2. A lot of people did that when that got announced because that was very like out of left field that they were going to do that. Yeah, especially when they announced they were going to make it a musical. But
next time I talk about The Idol, I will use that picture as the thumbnail.
Brandon Trost shot Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I saw that when I was scrolling. And then Crank High Voltage. Oh, nice. So I
love Crank High Voltage.
Nice. I really want to see the Crank movies. It sounds like a lot of fun.
So funny, but me and Leon watched them together. We were having a blast.
Cool. And he mentioned Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, which I think that's also a Neville Dean and Taylor movie. It's the same directors as Crank, right?
Mm.
I've seen the first. Yeah. I've seen the first Ghost Rider film, and I thought it was shit. But I've heard if they're doing the second one, I'm kind of intrigued. So maybe I'll have to check that out. And then Lords of Salem. Oh, okay. So a few Rob Zombie movies. Honestly, the only Rob Zombie movie I've seen is House of a Thousand Corpses, and I thought it was a terrible looking movie. I don't know if it's the same cinematographer, but that the prospect of a Rob Zombie movie that looks really good is kind of intriguing. So I need to check that out. It's his grimy stuff that I love. Okay. I can't believe you called me Lydia Tarr. Hey. It was probably the one beer that I had. I'm probably just a lightweight. Like, Trost's recent output is a bit more mid than his earlier stuff, but my god, his collabs with Neville Dean and Taylor and Rob Zombie are genuinely pretty phenomenal looking. Okay, I'm intrigued. I do want to check out more of Rob Zombie's stuff. I just found House of a Thousand Corpses like very grating. It's not that it's grimy and it's just annoying. Like I just found the characters in it like really. I think you would hate it, Josh. It's like probably like remember when that one time where Leon and I were trying to sell you on like to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I will probably watch it though. I will probably watch that one.
But it's what. But House of a Thousand Corpses is what I imagine you thought Texas Chainsaw Massacre would have been like before that. It's really bad. Static is gone now. There we go.
Sweet.
I think part of the reason I stopped making as many videos that were opinion based were because of how much I seem to piss people off with my opinions. I can relate to that a little bit. I don't mind. Like, because the thing is, it is like ultimately it is all opinions. I really try hard to not let it get to me. The review I did for Prey, that got quite a few like hate comments, but like, or not even like hate comments, but just like people going a little too harsh on it. So
Leon's gonna send you some stills from Lords of Salem, by the way.
Okay, all right then. Wait,
yeah.
Wait, what? So he'll send me what from Lords of Salem?
Stills, like cinematography stills.
Oh, stills. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But
I think you said
yeah,
stills
well,
for a second. I was like, wait, what?
I completely get what you mean, Leon. Like
Totally.
all of my videos get bombarded by dislikes, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times. I don't really pay attention to dislikes as much, like just intentionally, but the comments, like when you actually read something like, you know, kind of mean that somebody has to say about your videos, that's when it kind of gets to me. But yeah,
like I've gotten to the stage now where I just upload whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm just doing like occasionally Blu-ray content, then I'm gonna do the regular reviews again, and then I'm gonna be doing like video essays. Then I'm gonna do like compilation kind of things, you know, like tributes, record music stuff, hopefully. And it's like,
great.
I just upload whatever the fuck I want. You know?
As you should. Absolutely.
I don't care. I'm not sticking to one set thing anymore.
Yeah, no.
That was boring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's what YouTube like. YouTube like it when you stick to one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
But fuck the algorithm, man. Like life's full of algorithms.
It's good. I feel like telling people that Free Guy and the latest superhero stuff is bad didn't always go down that well. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I mean, I feel like though that sometimes I sometimes get more hate for things I like than things I don't like. I've noticed this. Like that was like Prey is a good example of that, where like a lot of people were hating on it literally just because it had a female lead. Like I think people looked at that and thought like that's by definition woke. And I'm like, if you actually watch the film, like it backs it up. Like she actually, you know, holds her own against this alien, which some people are like, oh, it's unrealistic for her to do that. It's unrealistic for Arnold Schwarzenegger to do that. This is an alien from another planet. Like it's, you know, the whole idea of the first Predator movie is that he's taking this sort of macho, you know, thing and kind of just and flipping it on the characters. Like I don't know. I was a little bit annoyed by that, the hate I got on that video, but that's about it, you know.
Yeah, I don't. Prey was good. I liked Prey.
It was pretty good. It was solid. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing ever. It had, you know, like the CG wasn't very good, but
because for the first half, it's like Mother Nature taking its course and attacking.
Right. Yeah, and it's very like it's very stripped down, like, which is a huge problem because a lot of the Predator sequels got really like complicated and stupid. Like the Alien versus Predator movies and
oh my god, those.
Yeah, and like the Shane Black one, you know, they just go off the rails. Whereas like this one was like, let's just do another survival thriller with a couple different elements and we'll make it work. And on that level, I thought I enjoyed it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it really worked. I thought it really worked.
And Leon says Vinegar Syndrome sale is on all week. Okay, I'm gonna have to go look at that, especially the Showgirls 4K, because if I can get a deal on that, I would definitely pick that up.
I've spent too much money. I literally just bought another record. I bought Leon will be happy with this. I bought Charlie XCX, How Am I Feeling Now? It's the last album I need, and it was 20 quid instead of 35, so I was getting it. Mm-hmm. I've spent too much money in the last week. Yeah. But I'm starting a new job, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I'll be earning.
There's 10 different titles per day. I picked up a good amount. Nice. They had a pre-order for a title I'd never heard of called Video Diary of a Lost Girl that had almost sold out of the slipcover edition. So I picked that up as a blind buy. Can't wait to check it out. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome does a lot of like restoration, like for lost films, actually. Like there was one they did a couple years ago I haven't seen it, but I've seen a scene from it, and it made me really want to check it out. It's called New York Ninja, and it's like a super low budget, almost like do you know the Wakaliwood movies, like the Ugandan action movies?
Oh, yes.
It's kind of like a New York version of that, and it looked really cool. So yeah, and it was like an unedited film that somebody just found and then edited and, you know, kind of restored. So they do great work over there. It looks like a VHS Fanatics wet dream referencing horror films while looking like Speed Racer. That sounds pretty good, actually.
Speed Racer. Geez.
I'm assuming he's talking about the Wachowski Speed Racer, the one that's like insanely, you know, CGI and crazy.
I haven't seen that film since I was a kid. and it gave me a headache.
I haven't seen it, period, and I really want to check it out. I kind of love the way
I used to play the games as a kid on the DS. Of all things, DS.
Yeah. It looks so bizarre. I had to pick it up. Talk on Maverick Rules.
It does.
I don't like it as much as everybody else does, but it is really good. It's hard to argue against, you know. Yeah. I really want to see Babylon. Yeah, recommend picking up that 4K. I mean,
I think you might like it, Leon.
I think you might like it. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about Damien Chazelle's other films, but especially if you like his other stuff, you'll probably find quite a bit to like.
If you like films which are like riffs on Hollywood and the corruption that happens in the system which people are tied down to, then I think you really like Babylon. I found it really obnoxious and kind of way too fucking long.
I get that.
But, I'm looking forward to checking it out. I've mainly bought it because I've got all of Chazelle's other films and I kind of needed it for the set. Plus, look at it. It's shiny. It's shiny. And I like shiny things.
Yeah, it is shiny. It's very much a shiny surfaces with kind of the terrible stuff underneath. I love the scene. It is very over the top, but I love the scene with Tobey Maguire where they go to that underground like.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for Leon, but it's I love it.
There's a quote in this film which I used in one of my reviews. I said, I hate when people. A quote when it's like, I hate when people put toppings in ice cream. It messes up and ruins a good thing.
Is it who says that? Is it Margot?
Margot, when she's in the car and I'm like, that kind of applies to the film itself if you think of it. You know, where it's got so many different toppings.
Yeah,
and it just ruins and already.
Yeah, that would be a good quote
for
like a mid review of Babylon, like a 3-star review of it. Like if you just put that quote up as your review, that'd be funny.
Yeah, it's like, but you see where I'm coming from, right? Where it's you've got this base product, say vanilla ice cream, which on its surface is really nice and really tender, and then you just add all this chocolate shit and all this like
sprinkles and marshmallow fluff and everything. Yeah.
And then it adds too much to an already nice thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I kind of It's one of the most smartest things I've come up with.
Yeah. Leon also says, "All Quiet on the Western Front" blows. I don't even just like. There's
plum.
There you go. Yeah, I like. There's things about it that I actually think are really good. Like a lot of the battle sequences, I did think were really well done and really like bleak. I thought it was mostly pretty sufficiently bleak war film. I love the scene early on where they show stuff on the battlefield and then they show people picking up the uniforms, cleaning the blood off of them, and then like repurposing them to give to new soldiers. Like that shit is really, really cool. But I get how people say it's mid otherwise, but yeah.
It is very mid. I've seen it before. Like 1917, we literally had 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah, I just didn't really like the Warner gimmick and that. Like that kind of took me out of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, without it, it would be nothing. Without it.
Yeah, it would be like the most generic war movie ever, right? Yeah.
But I still love that film for some reason. Need to rewatch it. I haven't watched it.
Fair. Roger Deakins shot it, so it's a really well, you know.
Deaky baby. Yeah. Deaky boy.
Thursday and Echoes of Silence are 2 others in the trilogy. Oh yeah, you were talking about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Kissland is great, and Asian aesthetic.
Yeah, that's the Weeknd's album. Yeah, the Asian aesthetic, the like neon aesthetic to it is brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Leon's a fan of A Simple Favor. Okay, well, I'm probably the best Paul Feig flick.
I haven't seen it for a long time. Last time I watched it was with my mum, and whenever I watch something with her, she falls asleep or either laughs at stupid shit which isn't even funny. So I get taken out of it.
Right. Yeah. Brian Wilson, Love and Mercy is good. The music studio scenes are great. Yeah. It's like The Lighthouse having fart jokes. As long as there's a great director behind the camera who knows how to execute the joke, humor like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic example. Also, I think Ozu films have fart jokes. Like
Ozu.
Yeah,
I think Koreeda does.
Yeah, like a lot of like sort of highbrow art filmmakers have like fart jokes in their films. Yeah. I can hear Howie from Uncut Gems screaming, KG!
KG! This is how I roll. This is how I win.
Yeah. KG is great. He says, great, a great performance from Kevin. Yeah.
Come on, KG. He actually did a good job for his first role.
Yeah. The Russos want to see film die. I'm convinced. They absolutely do. Okay, so the thing is, The Gray Man pissed me off because it was terrible. But what pissed me off even more was that quote that they had about like how like movie theaters are elitist. Basically, they're like they said that because it's so expensive to go to the movies now that the film industry should basically migrate towards the digital world, and it's like that destroys like what makes movies look good. And
do they realize that they were part of the reason because they made like two of the biggest movies of all time?
What I said, it's like they turn movies into theme park rides, which makes
I love it when people say that. I love it when they say that because it's true.
It makes it a more expensive experience to go see something in XD or in 4DX or whatever it is, right? So that makes it a more expensive experience, which disincentivizes people from going to see it. So, and then when people do want to see it, and the movie theaters, it makes them focus on just those, right? Because then people don't recognize just independent movies as, a movie experience. It's just a movie. Why would you go do that when you can go to have this, roller coaster ride experience, And it's you're totally right. It's their fault, like to a large extent. Yeah. AI generated.
I think it's more Joe Russo. I don't think Anthony Russo. I don't hear much from him. It's mainly Joe.
Yeah, I think it was just one of them. Yeah.
The guy who cameoed in Avengers.
Right. Yeah.
Gray Man was. Did you even understand what happened in the Gray Man? No. I had no idea what was going on.
I wrote in my review. I literally have no idea why people are chasing this person. Like,
yeah.
What did he do? I do not understand like any of this.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening throughout that entire movie.
This is a funny point that Leon brings up about how Stephen King's son wrote The Black Phone. I read a thing online about how he was like, he wrote this to give himself a little bit of a platform to be like different from his dad, so that he's not like a nepotism baby kind of a thing. And like he did, but at the same time, it's the script is so like obviously derivative of like Stephen King's work.
Yeah, it's very Stephen King.
So Stephen King. Kino is cinema. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It was something like that. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese should put out on a shirt.
Exactly. Yeah, you just wear a Kino shirt. Yeah. Oh, it's the German. Oh, that makes sense. Actually, I feel like they say that in Inglourious Bastards. I think because that movie obviously has a lot of German in it. I think they say the word Kino. Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched that one.
It's been a couple of years for me as well, but I watched that movie a lot growing up. So it's basically saying like it's great. Yeah. Leon, you're going into a lot of detail with this.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Yes, they're both Melody and Taylor. I really want to check out their stuff.
Gotta love them. Crank 1 and 2, Jackson, are like two of the best movies just because of how ridiculous and fun they are. I'm not gonna say too much, but you're in for a treat.
Okay.
So funny.
His first Ghost Rider is boring shite. The sequel's fun though. That seems like the vibes I got because I remember just being really bored by the first one. It's very like generic. Like it seems like people who don't actually like this kind of material, like schlocky movies, trying to make one, and it just doesn't work. Whereas Neville and Taylor, like that's their whole thing with stuff like
that's their shtick.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Leon agrees. House of Thousand Corpses is atrocious. You know what's funny is Rainn Wilson is in that movie, like just very randomly. Yeah, and it's very weird to see him in like a very grimy horror film like that.
It's weird to see him in a movie nowadays.
Yeah. No, not the same cinematographer that shot it. Okay, that makes sense because that one looks bad. Like, yeah. I'll take a look at those after the stream. Thanks, Leon. And obviously, the other one I was thinking of was The Devil's Rejects. I think that's still part of the same trilogy, but it's later in Zombie's career, so I would imagine it also looks better. Love Whiplash and La La Land didn't vibe with First Man. I think especially if you like those ones, because those are more like music oriented. Just like
all I'm saying is, First Man should have been nominated for score.
Okay,
it's what they used. I forgot what the machine's called, but they use a machine which you don't really use. You literally press on it and it makes different noises. I forgot what it's called.
I don't remember. Not a synthesizer, right? Because that's just like a different piano. That's just like a
I forgot what it was they used.
That's actually the only Chazelle film I haven't seen yet. I missed that one when it came out.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. An electric theremin.
Yeah.
They used a 94-piece orchestra, an electric theremin, a Moog synthesizer, and several other instruments, and they still didn't get a nomination. They won over just regular Marvel score with bongo drums.
Leon says, I'm just tired of the bleak war films. 1917 was the big one for me that I couldn't stand.
Yeah, I get that. I can see that.
I mean, thing is, if I watch a war, I want war films. Like my number one criteria for a war movie is for it to do something different. Which I think All Quiet kind of did with the whole, again, like I just like how they portray war as like a factory. I think that makes a lot of sense. But like the other one is, I do want it to be really bleak. Like Come and See is my favorite war movie, and I think, Leon, you're a fan of that one as well. That one's just such like that's like war as like a existential nightmare horror movie. Like it's brutal.
Oh, the Russian one.
Yeah.
That's the one which is in like everybody's top fours.
Yeah, well, basically, it's like I think it's the number one movie on Letterboxd right now. Okay, Leon says he does like that one.
Only Spider-Verse is number one now.
Well, no, because they changed the criteria. It was number one,
but
then they changed something in their algorithm that made Spider-Verse like 7th. Yeah, but it's weird. The movie, the change in the algorithm affected the most was that the Brazilian one, like A Dog's Will. Do you know?
Yeah.
That got bumped from like a 4.6 to like a 3.9 for some reason.
Really?
I don't know why. Yeah.
Guardians 3 was in there as well, I think. Mm-hmm. I was at like 20 something because everybody was spamming it when the thing came out.
Yeah. But Leon also says that Apocalypse Now. That's my other favorite war movie, and I would actually put Dunkirk in there as well, just because I think Dunkirk does something really.
Oh, I love Dunkirk. Yeah, Dunkirk's good.
But yeah, Apocalypse Now, like to me, it's a fantastic war movie, but it also like kind of transcends being a war movie. Like it's more of just like a peek into the like a particular period of history of like it's more like what happens to the psyche of the country that's at war. But yeah, great movie. I'm gonna go further up because we've skipped some stuff. Thank God I'm not the only one who thinks 1917 is mid. Yeah, I remember enjoying it, but it's yeah, I think it's kind of mid. It was mainly just the gimmick I didn't like. I liked most of the other things in it, like generally, but yeah.
In fact, that's the only 4K my grandparents own. It's 1970.
Oh, okay. That is a very. We talked about dad movies. That is a grandparents movie.
Yeah, I literally went to see it with them, and my granddad walked out and was like, "He would never have survived that." And I was like,
yeah. Leon
suspend disbelief for 1 minute, Granda. Like, come on.
I don't even know what Jarhead is. I'll have to look
That's
that
a war movie.
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Jamie Foxx, I think.
Yes, I think I know this one. Is that directed by Fuqua? Wait, let me look it up.
No.
Because I know Gyllenhaal's done a lot of.
Antoine Fuqua makes like 6 movies a year at this point.
So I'm in a different movie group chat where we I think I may have told you about Samurai January, where we just watch terrible movies all January. And for those that want to continue, there's Fuqua February to go through all of Fuqua's films.
You'll be there for a long time because he's made like.
I made it like 3 movies in. I'm like, I can't do this.
That guy made like 4 movies in 2020.
Okay, yeah. It's directed by Sam Mendes as well, so same director.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jarhead's a rough one, I've heard.
Broccoli Boy says, "Ayo, would never
watch it
unless I was paid." Maybe Leon can sponsor this. Maybe Leon can be the one to pay you. We'll propose that. I didn't really care for the Black Phone. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's definitely not the most innovative horror movie or anything. But actually, Leon, we were talking about this on the stream like last week. What you were saying about Smile, about how that's kind of like popcorn fun. That's how I felt about the Black Phone. Like that worked better for me in that way.
I might actually rewatch Smile, even though it keeps me up at night. Might rewatch it to see if it's actually I like it more.
Yeah, like you were saying that image of like just the smiling person.
No, the ending part keeps me.
Oh, that's okay. Yep, I can see it.
A lot of it's very funny, but the ending part
a lot of it is very funny. Yeah. It's very like pulpy, and it knows what it's doing for sure. Brady went to get the smokes and returned. Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people. This is another thing about Europe I've noticed. People smoke a lot more there than they do in the U.S. Like in the U.S., people tend to vape a little bit more, but just a little difference I've noticed. You missed the Brandon Trust appreciation chat, Brady. All I need is Apocalypse Now. We talked about that. He also likes De Palma's Casualties of War. That's one that Mike did usually that.
Michael J. Fox in that one.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good. Come and See legitimately made me depressed for a couple days. It is one of those movies. Yeah, just kind of. There's a scene towards the end. It's like the climax of the movie, if you can call it that. It's not really traditionally that, but it's it's awful. Like what happens. It's like soul destroying. I
want to watch Incendies by Villeneuve, because that's kind of
similar.
War-ish.
I think that's a war movie. I think. Yep. I haven't seen that either. I've seen Sicario.
The movie looks so pretty. I've seen some of the shots. It looks so nice.
Have you seen Sicario? That's a Deakins one that.
Oh, I love Sicario. Yeah.
I wasn't that. It's okay. I just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't that drawn into the.
Bring on Dune 2, boy. Bring on Dune 2.
I'm so psyched. Have you seen the new trailer?
Hell yeah, I've watched it like 20 times.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
I've got a video coming about why I think it looks awesome. Well, it looks epic.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked for it. I can't vibe with a war film. Too afraid to show gore. So Dunkirk is a no for me. I get that. I totally do. But I just think that what Dunkirk is doing is not really about the brutality of war.
It's more about the time of
it's about time, and it's about like the paranoia that people have when they're in war. Like it's trying to put you in the headspace. Like that's that's why people wanted to see it, or that's why Nolan wanted everybody to see it in IMAX, is because like of how loud it is and how like just abrasive it is. I think that's more what it's doing than like the gory kind of brutality of war. I should have just looked at Leon's comment instead of looking it up, but thank you. I saw The Whale with my grandma. I completely forgot that the film opens with Brennan furiously masturbating to gay porn.
Oh, the whale.
I heard that like I heard people talk about that scene, and I didn't know for a while that the film opens that way. So that's
it does. Yeah, The Whale. No, just no. I don't like it at all.
The Whale is the best war movie.
Practically is.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
The Whale. It's funny because it's like Samuel D. Hunter's being very meta with it, but at the same time he's not, because he's the guy who wrote it, and he's like, the author has to. We read the author's own sad story, and this is based on his own story. And it's like, fuck off. Mm-hmm. And Aronofsky, I'm sorry, pal, but you did not do a good job with this one.
No,
you did not.
It was another thing I was mentioning, like Samurai January, Fuqua February. We also had Dare in December. That was another one.
Dare in December. Well,
I'm not paying for anything related to the Russos. I'm sorry. Oh, but he could watch it. You could force him to watch it.
Fuck the Russos are industry plants.
You're not supporting the Russos by making your friend. I guess you kind of are.
Yeah, you gotta.
Because if you watch it on Netflix, actually, you definitely would be. Yeah. I completely get digging the black phone in that way. Yeah. That's just how I felt about it. Yep. Greeny Man. Is this about the Gray Man? Or no wait.
Greeny Man makes me love it. Yeah, I think so. The Whale is like a feature length Tropic Thunder. Oh.
But wait. Oh, is in like one of the fake films that they have.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, Tropic Thunder's feature length. What are you talking about?
I've been saying that quite a lot. I said that for Renfield. I said
Renfield. Oh, yeah. That actually, that's. I wish I had thought of that for Renfield. Yeah. Oh my God, Tropic Thunder. That is a.
Oh, Greeny Man. His smile.
Oh, yep, Mr. Greeny Man. Brady's from Canada. Nice. Hoser.
One of Brady's comments in a minute just...
Which one? Is this this one?
My God, yeah.
Yeah. Grandma loves the LGBT community, so she wasn't shocked by anything in it. It was just gross to see on a giant screen next to my grandma.
I went to see Emily with my grandma, about Emily Bronte, with my nan.
Oh, okay.
I like that movie a lot, right? But we didn't know she got jiggy with it in it, and I was like, I was sat next to my nan.
Yeah.
And I was the only man in the screening as well. It was all just full of poetry writers. And then it was just me in my Mackenzie jacket and jogger bottoms going to see it with my nan.
Wow. No, my grandpa actually. So I watched movies with him before, but he's a big fan of like really schlocky stuff. So he grew up like back in the 70s. No, he grew up before that, but but back in the 70s he was like big into exploitation movies and grindhouse stuff. And so he actually owns a lot of that stuff. So that's how I discovered certain movies. Like he owns like Frankenhooker. Like he's a big Henenlotter fan. Basically, just like the weirder the title, the more he's gonna like it. The way he phrased it, the more boobs there are on the poster. He's a fan. Like he's a very cool grandpa actually. He's Dirty Grandpa. It's not Dirty Grandpa. Yeah, the Top Tropic Thunder film. Leon loves my grandma. Fun facts. Oh, and Leon, I skipped over this, but the whale is something I actively despise. I think I would hate it too. That's part of why I've avoided it.
The whale is like, it's torture porn almost.
It's like emotional, but like a torture porn for like emotions. Like
because like Brendan, there's a reason why he's the way he is in that film. I'm not gonna explicitly say, but it's not nice.
Right.
And his daughter's kind of punishing him for it because.
Well, I remember when I saw, when I heard the premise, like when I saw the trailer, and they kind of have a lot of the father-daughter dynamics. It made me think of. Have you seen Aronofsky's film The Wrestler?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's my favorite Aronofsky film, and the father-daughter relationship in that is like really heartbreaking. And so it kind of looked like it was trying to do that in The Whale, but like in a different way that looked worse.
I don't know what it is with Aronofsky, but he likes to make very miserable movies about miserable people in this miserable world. You know, like Requiem for a Dream.
Right.
It's like the hardest thing to watch, but it might be my favorite Aronofsky joint.
I'm not big on that one, to be honest. It's Jay Bauman from Red Letter Media said something so funny about it. He says it's a great movie, but he also says it's a contemporary Reefer Madness. Because of how like over the top it gets with like all the like drugs are bad kind of stuff, and I'm like, that kind of is how I feel about it. But I totally understand why it resonates with people.
The Jennifer Connelly bit at the end had my jaw on the floor. I was like,
okay,
what?
I think that's racist. Like the Jennifer Connelly bit, like the way it positions her with that guy. To me, I don't know. It was like subtly kind of
racist.
But yeah, but I totally understand why people connect with it. Like, I mean, Ellen Burstyn is so good in it. Like, oh no.
No.
Oh no. That sounds like
it's true though. It's true. She's practically a bitch. She's like the worst person you've ever seen on Facebook in 2007. She's awful.
It kind of sounds like if somebody was trying to parody a Darren Aronofsky film, that this is something that they would come up with. Leon's a big fan of The Wrestler, though.
Yeah, I like The Wrestler.
Yeah, The Wrestler's amazing.
I love it when he just has a fucking fit in the at his job. It just leaves. He just throws everything. He's
the food scene. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and Mickey Rourke, I think, was an underrated actor when he, was in his actual.
I mean, looked like a punched lasagna. But,
yeah, we didn't look like a lasagna. Yeah, like he's really great at Engelhart. Yeah. Super tasteless. So you think just calling her dad fat and homophobic slurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Brady just said about it, Jesus.
Yeah. Engelhart does rule. It's such an underrated cult film. I mean, more people are starting to pick up on it. I think it has a 4K now as well. I think last year we got one. Do you know this one, Josh? Yeah, it's directed by Alan Parker, who did Mississippi Burning, which was a big Oscar movie, and then also Pink Floyd, The Wall, that movie.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's in a very small subgenre of Satan detective movies, and it's actually, we were talking about neo-noir earlier. I would put Engelhart in that neo-noir category, but it's also in the third act it turns into a full-on horror movie. I think it's really, really cool. What about Sin City?
I'm confused. But yeah, the wrestler where he's smashing up a kitchen is very funny.
Oh yeah, so good. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of over the top stuff in it, like kind of, but it's kind of toned down a little bit more compared to Aronofsky's other movies. Like, yeah. Mickey Rourke's in Sin City. I think that's what.
Mars. Yeah.
I still need to see that. To be fair, I'm not the biggest Robert Rodriguez fan. Again, we were talking about like his
Spy Kids is where it's at, bro. Don't diss Spy Kids.
Yeah,
Spy Kids was my childhood. People have like Nemo and Lion King for their childhood. Spy Kids was mine.
I really liked, Shark Boy and Lava Girl when I was a kid as well. Also Robert Rodriguez, same thing,
AKA Ant-Man 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched From Dusk Till Dawn recently, and I wasn't really a huge fan. I mean, it's okay. It's the twist that it does is cool, but it's also executed like really poorly. Like the horror stuff is not scary at all, and it's not fun just because of how cheesy it looks. I don't know. It didn't totally work for me, but yeah. I'm not huge on Rob's filmography, but Sin City is great. Okay. That is one I have heard people kind of say good things about. Also, isn't that also Robert Rodriguez?
Oh, Alita was really good as well.
Alita, but the thing is, I didn't mind the way it was directed. I thought it was a pretty well directed movie. I just didn't like the script. But James Cameron wrote the script, so that explains that.
I'm surprised they didn't call character like Bob or Jack or Jim or whatever because
like James Cameron's villains are so weak. Like they're so like cliche, and I don't know.
Oh, I like Alita a lot. Even my dad liked Alita.
I thought, it's there's
the visual effects are really good in it.
It could have been a lot more violent too, because it was based off a manga, and I've heard the manga is like really violent.
I think they're making a sequel, right?
They are making. Is at least in the plans. I don't know if they're still doing it, but yeah, I mean, I think people liked it enough to where they were going to greenlight that at some point.
Yeah, because I remember when what's his name showed up. Edward Norton.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, he's like kind of the villain in it, right? Like he kind of shows up in the end. Yeah, I can see that. A really faithful big budget adaptation of a manga using weird new technology.
I really like the visual effects in that film. Like a lot of people have a problem with the anime eyes. Fuck you, it's manga.
No, I didn't mind the design of it. It's just like, no, and actually, that's probably Robert Rodriguez's best looking film, other than maybe Sin City. But yeah, I always hate when that image of Tarantino at the Shark Boy and Lava Girl premiere. People tweet, "Why was he here?" Everybody knows they're friends that have worked together. Yeah, it's not surprising he was at the premiere. Yeah, like he not only wrote From Dusk Till Dawn, which Rodriguez directed, but he also
Speed Racer.
So Rodriguez was directing him in it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard. I really want to see Speed Racer. I
want to watch it again, but it's so long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
How could they make that 2 hours and 15 minutes? I mean, like, to be honest, there are other things that the Wachowskis have done that I've wondered that about as well. Like, I liked Matrix 4, but God, that thing is long.
I didn't like that film on a rewatch. I liked it first time, but now I'm like, nah, it's. It's literally 2 hours and 15 minutes. Speed Racer.
Yeah.
I want to watch it again though.
Speed Racer goes.
Give it a 1 out of 5 when I last watched it. Damn, that was.
Oh, okay. No, I think the meta stuff in it is really cool, and I love how it just hates the audience, like in a good way. Like it's just like, you guys are expecting another, like, a very generic Matrix sequel, right? Well, let me just not do that for you then. Like, how about we go that route? Yeah.
It's making fun of studio films.
Oh yeah.
While I think it's funny, I just thought, did it have to be in such a boring film?
Yeah, that's the thing is like anytime the action, like when they cut to the actual plot of it, like with Jada Pinkett's character and all that stuff, like I just don't care. Like the plot of it is really weak, but I think like that's part of the commentary too, is that like it's kind of it's trying to be like like a bad Marvel movie, but it's like and I'm like,
no, Marvel movies are bad already.
Yeah, no, it's like, and I'm like, that's cool, but like I have to then watch that, and I'm like, I don't know, but I do like Matrix 4. It's fun.
Honest, Leon's got a point here saying that I've watched Normal People 5 times and that'll be nothing. Yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
Yeah. Well, I probably should go ahead and start wrapping up here. Just I've got a few other things to do today, but thank you so much for coming on, Josh, and thanks Leon, Brady, Winslow, you, Drew, Mike, Jason, everybody for commenting. I really appreciate the chat. Josh, do you have something coming up that you want to plug before we go?
Whatever I decide to bring out next. I think I'm working on a Dune Part 2 video.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah, you were mentioning like a kind of building up to it, like you're excited for the movie kind of video.
Yeah, and I'm planning on doing like a tribute to my top 100 favorite films of all time. I know I did one a while ago, but this one's going to be different. It's literally just ranking, like going from like 100 to number 1, and it's just like images and clips and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do love the video that you did on it previously. It's a great edit. Yeah.
Yeah, that took a while. I was very happy with it, but this one's going to take longer because it's downloading a lot for it.
Rank them and yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, great to hear. As far as for me, I don't even know what I've got coming up. I've thought about maybe doing a Blowout review because I might because I'm probably going to rewatch that tonight, so that might be a good opportunity for it to be fresh in my mind. And then other than that, I'll be on Mike's stream from Mike from Did You See That? I'll be on his stream on Thursday. That's pretty much it in terms of near-term stuff. So yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Josh. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we'll get you on my channel soon with Leon. So
will do, definitely. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a good one.
See you guys.
Hold on, I'm gonna end the stream this way. Don't. No.